like the way I built my agency is, and what I've realized is that people come to us for an outcome. They don't actually care about anything else. I actually didn't start in the ad game when I was a kid, because obviously, you know, when you're 5 years old, you don't wake up and go, I want to be an ad guy. I was always really curious and always taking stuff apart. I always wanted to figure out how stuff worked.
Matt Feng chased success early, building an agency and running ads to learn how to scale businesses fast. Knowing and understanding the ads algorithm truly helps push your business to the next level. So if you want to learn about how you can utilize ads to grow your brand, Matt is the perfect person for that. Now, one of the biggest agencies in Australia, Matthew has achieved success at such a young age because of his understanding of the system. For you to win the game, you must first know how to play the game.
It's actually fucking cool, bro.
It's wild. And that's where everyone's taxes is going, right?
Yeah.
And I worked there and I saw the back end.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Point 01. Today we have Matt Feng on. This is episode 30. We have an excellent episode if you're into your ads, so let's get into it. Matt, thank you for coming here from Melbourne. Matt runs an agency called Scale Digital. He is doing fantastic work, especially in the e-com game. But today, this episode is going to be a very interesting and technical one. So if you're not into making money, you can turn it off. That's not a problem. But if you're into making money, we're going to talk all things digital today, which will be quite exciting. And we'll probably dive into the miasma of Zuck's brain and, you know, meta ads and all sorts of different ad platforms. And we'll get some behind the scenes insights and goss as well. So if you're into making money, this is the episode for you. It'll be
money making episode.
The money making episode. We've been having quite a few of these recently, from structuring to, you know, setups to products. Now we're going to talk about ads. So Matt, before we get started and dive deep into the technical aspects of things, you run an agency. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself? And for those people who don't know who you are and the agency that you run down in Melbourne, what is your story? Like, who are you and what made you build this agency of yours?
Yeah, man, that's a big question. We'll get straight into it. Yeah. So pretty much, I actually didn't start in the ad game when I was a kid, because obviously, you know, when you're 5 years old, you don't wake up and go, I want to be an ad guy. I was always really curious and always taking stuff apart. I always wanted to figure out how stuff worked. So I actually came from a background of being more of a nerdy kid. Like, I used to build 3D printers, and then, you know, back in the day I used to...
Wait, how old are you?
26.
Okay, 26. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I used to be super nerdy. I like built electric skateboards and like, like this was before boosted boards was a thing. I actually built this electric skateboard that, you know, was like 2 kilowatts and used like lithium batteries that, you know, could fucking blow you up and shit.
Yeah.
One time I fucked it up and like the remote stopped connecting, but the board kept going.
Oh shit.
And I was just like,
This is
hey,
it.
man, it is what it is. This is it. This is how I die. It's fucking terrifying. But yeah, so that's like my background. Really nerdy, into 3D printers, into making remote control planes, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Like, so completely different.
So you did all the coding, all of the like connections, all that sort of stuff yourself?
Exactly. Microcontrollers, like programming a 3D printer. And this is back before they were like easy to use, but putting it all together, printing parts for the 3D printer to print better on the printer, you know what I mean? Like,
but it's like cannibalism almost.
Yeah, literally the other way around.
Reverse cannibalism.
Reverse cannibalism. But that's sort of what I grew up on.
Yeah.
And then it got into like cars. The first car I bought was like really clapped out Beamer.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to learn German with my laptop, diagnosing all like the different like valves and sensors and all this kind of stuff. So I was super nerdy. But then sort of, one thing I realized, I had this idea back in the day, and it was to make petrol power tools that my dad was using because he's a tradie.
Yeah.
Turn them electric when they stop working, because my dad's got asthma and he's always complaining about the fumes
Of the petrol.
Like one item in particular was this post hole digger where you're digging like fence post holes, right?
Yeah.
And he's always complaining about the fumes. And then I looked at it and I was like, hey, this should totally be electric based on my like previous knowledge, right? So I 3D printed this coupler and everything else, put this 2 kilowatt electric motor in there. And then it would be powered off 2 drill batteries that you could like plug in, because they were like 3D printed mounts you could use. And then it had like all these fucking advanced features. Like, if you can like break your back when you're doing these, or you can throw your back out if you hit a rock and it like spins.
Yeah.
So it had like a shock sensor and all this kind of stuff. Like, I'm talking mega nerd stuff, you know?
Wow, bro, you're a proper nerd.
Proper nerd. So that's like my background. That's what I was sort of brought up on. And I thought I was going to be an engineer.
Wow.
So, But really, like I just had curiosity for these things. I actually floated this idea to some people who built power tools.
Yep.
And what ended up happening was they're like, oh yeah, it's a sort of good idea, blah, blah, whatever. Okay. Later on in the market, like a year or two later, they actually came out, like this is a thing now. You can buy electric post hole diggers that are like good now. Yeah, I know. Hilarious.
So they ripped your idea.
I don't know if they ripped my idea, but they actually did come out. That specific company came out with one. Later.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Timing, yes, very sus.
It's whatever, man. It's whatever. But yeah, I realized I had no business sense. And I was like, how do I make an impact? Or like, how do I do the stuff I want to do if I have zero business sense? And then I realized what's the most important thing in business? It's driving revenue and customer acquisition. I was like, that's what I have no idea about. So it sort of started me down this rabbit hole. And then I started this e-com brand where I sold these drinking straws. So I dropped out of uni after going for a little bit.
Did you get into an engineering course or what did you do in uni?
No, I was in a business course because by that point I already knew I can't be an engineer. I did this in high school. I did this like work experience and then I saw the engineers and I just watched the engineers like repeatedly test the one fucking latch, 100 times and then just write like, oh, yep, worked. Yep, worked. Put on the X-ray. Yeah, looks good. Like that's engineering. And I'm like, dude, that is not what I'm going to be doing. So I was already like, okay, I have to go into this business direction. And then by that time, and this is another like side track, but I was also into crypto.
Okay.
But I was like 17 years old in crypto. And I'm one of the kids. You hear of all these kids who got rich as fuck. I'm not that guy.
Okay, we'll preface it straight off the bat.
I'm not that guy. Don't come and try to get my Bitcoin. I don't. I got scammed so many times. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
But I was always thinking about alternative ways, and I was always like pretty divergent with this. So I never cared in school, and like my ATAR was like 70. I was like not a good ATAR student. But then I got into university, and I realized like this is just not for me. And then I dropped out after like 6 weeks.
Wow.
And then after I dropped out, I had this fun thought experiment, which is, can I find a way to skip uni effectively? And what I did was I actually just started working all these random jobs on Airtasker and just like going to people's houses, teaching their kids how to use 3D printers as an example, helping them assemble furniture, just all sorts of random niche sort of things. And then I, through that experience, figured out and got my first full-time job, which was actually sticking up vinyl signage in like Maya, David. I know, super random.
That's so random.
Yeah. And then after about 6 months of that, I somehow landed a full-time job in IT.
Wow. That's a very big change. From sticking up signs to going to IT is a massive change.
Yeah. Because this was at CSIRO and they needed people to put computers into their science labs.
Interesting.
Really interesting. Like a grad job. And I just like talked my way into it because I knew how to do 3D printers and I knew how to build gaming PCs. So I was like, hey man, you should just hire me. It's perfect, right?
Yep.
And then while I was there, I was like, oh man, there's so many like business ideas, like these drop shipping guys, whatever else. So I started going, okay, what if I, import and sell these drinking straws? Yeah. And this was the start of my first loss, like my first cataclysmic mental loss yet.
I was expecting you to go, yeah, that was mad, $1 million brand.
No. We got pretty screwed up by our supplier. So we had these, this new product came out in Asia and it was this drinking straw that didn't go soggy. Oh, and you could also eat it.
Oh, it's like the wheat straw, whatever it was.
It's like a wheat straw. This is before all those.
Yeah,
this was a tapioca and rice straw.
Okay,
it's like a pasta straw.
Yeah.
And what it would do, the feature was that you put in a drink and then it would absorb the flavor of the drink. Okay. And then you could munch on it.
And you get addicted to this. Sounds kind of disgusting, but yeah.
Hey, man.
Imagine pasta tasting like chocolate or something. It'd be pretty
weird.
Pretty strange. Pretty strange, yeah.
And the reason the pasta straws didn't work, fun fact, is because of the gluten.
Interesting.
So like that tastes weird. And anyway, we're probably getting too far into it. But that business didn't work because eventually, the suppliers actually like bait and switched us with this product.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. So the product we tested was like, yeah, this is sick. And the product we got on a pallet was like, okay, here are the problems. One, the whole thing's wrapped in plastic. This made me so jaded, man. Like, I was like, yeah, sustainable, everything else. We get this pallet, half of it's plastic wrapping.
Yeah.
Right? And then after that, the product did not perform as a straw. So like we would put it in, a bottle of Coke and it had the Mentos effect. It would cause it to explode.
Oh shit!
right?
Wow, what a product!
And then you put it in like a glass of, you put it in a cocktail with ice in it. And it's like tempered glass, so it's split. And then you couldn't even use it.
Oh my god!
And then it was 10 times the cost of paper straws.
Wow.
Which was then 100 times the cost of a plastic straw.
Yeah.
And then this is also where I learned, like, restaurant owners are probably not the market,
Yes.
like, to sell this kind of product to, because they want the cheapest cost.
Of course.
So, and the problem with this business is that I told everyone about it. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm the straw guy, yada, 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 everything else. And then in the background, I was like, wow, this product is
Fucking
crap.
shit.
Terrible. Yeah, man. And like, as an 18-year-old kid or a 19-year-old kid, that just like killed me.
Yeah.
That killed me for a bit.
How much savings did you spend on that project?
I think like 10 to 20K.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably more. That's just like cash that I
Yeah.
remember. But yeah.
That's like all your full-time savings gone, bro.
Yeah, just pretty gross. Pretty gross. But it taught me a lot. It taught me Shopify, it taught me Facebook and Instagram ads. It taught me like everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, I actually quit that job after about a year because I was just like, this is kind of stagnant. This is cool, but it's kind of stagnant. And then I went to become a marketing manager at a healthcare business. And this is where I just like sort of took a lot of different things. So did websites, emails, like online forms for submissions. It was like B2B and B2C. And this is where I got like a first taste of, this is like marketing that actually drives a result to some extent, right? And then that's where I sort of got addicted because I was like, hey, I can provide an input here, build these, customer experiences and these websites that actually drive revenue. And I just had this like, dead on focus on just how can I provide the most revenue through my actions was pretty much my KPI at the time. And in this business, I did all this stuff. Like I, rebuilt a website. I rebuilt all these email flows. I've sent out all these email campaigns. I've launched Google Ads and all the ad stuff for them as well. So it was very end to end. But then after a while, I sort of maxed out because it was a small business and their business is so B2B heavy that there's only so much I can do. And they only have a set amount of customers in Australia as well. And then that's where I left that job. And I actually became a business analyst for the NDIS. So anyone, I know, complete.
Bro, you were just like jumping from west side to east side, south side to north side, bro. You're jumping spectrums here.
So crazy. And then I actually took this business on as my first client. And then, but in my day job, I was like a 20-year-old kid designing this app for the NDIS. So anyone who like claims, makes a claim through the NDIS, actually, on, like the mobile app is the one I designed. So everyone uses that. I don't know, it's completely random, right? Well, I was on the team who like launched that and did all that. Obviously, you can't take full credit. But that was like a fun side track. But in the background of all this marketing knowledge and everything else, I started helping out a bunch of friends. And that's where it all started. I started helping out friends and I just started snowballing. But I remember this distinct point where I had to quit the full-time job just because I knew I could see the future of where that would lead. And honestly, I think if I had back then the right opportunity, like I'm pretty diverse in that I could have worked somewhere with big upside, but I like couldn't see that in my current place. And I was like, I'm in Australia. I don't know where that is. So I was like, my only choice is to go into it myself. So I did. And then I started doing it for friends. And then I had no idea at the start. And I was just like doing it for free and figuring it all out. And that was like 5 years ago now.
Pretty much COVID time.
Yeah, COVID time. And so I launched properly after the COVID hype.
Yeah, interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I saw what performance was like before COVID and I saw it through. And then after COVID is when I went hard into it. And I will say that probably battle hardened me more than, anything else. So, and I think that actually changed my overall approach and overall strategy on how I sort of view this entire thing. And now, we've just hired like our 11th or 12th staff member and we're expanding pretty hard into the US as well.
Yeah, wow.
And like working across some of the craziest accounts. But that's where it all started, man. So that's crazy. That's the origin story.
That's very interesting. Where did you get your skills from for ads then? Were you just kind of like, did you just figure it out or did you have a mentor or did you do courses? How did you actually get that knowledge?
I did a bunch of different courses and I did a bunch of free work. That's how I got it. Yeah. And then off that free work, when I first started getting my first like few case studies, that's where I like legitimized it. I was like, okay, I know I can do this. And then I just came in and did it real cheap for people.
Yeah, wow.
Like we're talking, like tiny amounts of money to run their ads. And I just went through that process took ages. That was like 2 years of floating about and just like doing the best thing I possibly could and not earning that much money.
Yeah. And I think that's the case for most agencies as well, right? I think that's actually a great conversational topic for us today as well. We both have different types of agencies too. Agency game for a lot of kids nowadays is they think, oh yeah, I can start an agency and make fucking 10 grand a month within the next month, which is not true for a lot of people.
Absolutely not.
You have to be either exceptionally talented or exceptionally well networked to get to a 10, 20, 30K MRR in agency in a rapid scale. Usually if you're just starting off, you're a nobody, you don't have great skills, it'll probably take you 2-3 years to even get to a 10K a month. You know, if it's not even profit, 10K a month recurring revenue from your clients.
Like at least, I would say. Like I know a lot of people who, it literally takes you 2 to 3 years just to get to the start of the race, if that makes sense.
Correct.
And there's so much stuff that you don't know that it's, thinking back, it's crazy. Like the amount of context I have now versus back then when I was just like a kid trying to figure it all out.
Correct.
So,
I mean, like agency sounds cool because it's like, oh yeah, you're just providing a service and you're going to make so much fucking money.
Nah.
Right? And that's what a lot of kids are doing nowadays. Back in the day, you would remember, is all SMMA. Everyone's got a social media marketing management agency. And then now everyone's like, oh, let's do ads agency. And then now in this generation, it's creative agency. We're going to do, we're going to go and make ads or UGC content. But, 99% of these agencies are just 18-year-old kids trying to make quick money. Literally. And they fucking suck. They've got no real life experience, no experience in what their fields are, nor do they actually know what they're talking about. They're just making bullshit up to sell to a boomer who would be like, oh, they're young, maybe they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. But from real agency perspective, it takes time. When do you reckon you made your first like proper money in agency?
Like 2 years ago or 1 year ago even.
Wow. So like 3-4 years in.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
When I say proper money, it's because I reinvested. I knew I needed a team and I knew I needed to just test a bunch of things, right? Like at the start, I know the playbook now.
Yep.
Like if I were to start another agency tomorrow, I know exactly what to do.
Much easier, yep.
But that initial like 3-4 year period is just learning. Like all my dollars went back into learning, advisors, mentors, like just trying to figure this stuff out. Because it's such a like reverse psychology sort of play. Like you assume you make your first hire and you think that's going to be less work.
Yeah.
But it's actually double the work for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And also all of their mess ups are actually your mess ups.
You cop it.
You cop
every time
everything.
they fuck up, you pay for it.
Exactly.
Whether with cash or whether with time
or both.
Or with mental health too.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah,
right?
you just get pumped.
You're like this catch net.
Yeah.
Right? Of everything. And the thing is, you have to keep letting them fuck up, right?
Yeah, correct.
You have to keep giving them this thing, this environment to fuck up, and like whether that's compensating clients, be like, hey, we didn't do a good enough job. Here's your money back.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, like you have to pay for it. So unless you just like you see all this stuff on Twitter where people like boom, just like went 0 to 100K a month. Yeah. This whole thing, right? The biggest thing I think I've learned is that there's different types of businesses and different types of businesses have different longevity. Like our sort of setup now is we're much more, the thing I like most about our business is I can really stand behind like what we do and like sleep at night. Whereas I think a lot of agency guys can't.
I agree.
And I think we've also got like a really exciting roadmap. Like pretty much we're at this point where all agencies are converging into tech and all tech companies are converging into driving outcomes, which is like more of what an agency does. And like the future of what this looks like, I think is going to be like very different to what it is now.
I agree.
But yeah, all that kind of stuff, like when you're starting out, you don't even know what you don't know for so long. And your staff and your systems and doing all this in the context of Australia, that's another thing. My team's in-house.
Yeah.
Right. And in person.
Yeah. Which is
for most of it.
Very, very different.
Very different to like running a remote team. So,
correct. Yeah, agency is a very interesting business model, right? Like it sounds very, very simple. You're selling a skill and then you scale up by hiring more people, and that's how your business grows, is by hiring more people, because you are always going to be capped. And I think the agency conversation is one that a lot of people are very interested in right now, because from what I know is a lot of brands don't like working with agencies because agencies, they perform for a while. And we've gone through this experience ourselves as well. Agencies perform for a while and then they get low-key too busy for us, right?
Yeah.
It's like, as a human, when you're handling clients, I would say if you want to handle good clients, your individual self can maybe handle 6, maybe max 8 if you're super good at organization, whatever. Anything beyond that, you start to kind of see a diminishing return in terms of how much you can help and give value to a client. And I think that's the hard part is agencies, they want to make money, right? And a lot of these young kids, they want to make money. The first time they ever make 10, 15, 20 grand a month, it's like a lot of money. So they go, yeah, I can just pick up 16, 20 clients. If I do 20 clients at 2K a month each, bro, that's 40 grand a month. That's the philosophy for a lot of these like the agencies. And then you ask them, how many clients do you have? Oh, 25. How many people in your team? 1. So you're like, what the fuck? So I think a lot of people don't realize that with agency, you're just dealing with people that have a certain skill set. And if you want to really get service, it's really about the quality of the team that they can present to you. Or you have to judge, hey, if they're just getting started or they're a competent team and there's one person that services 6 to 8 or whatever it is, then you might get better results versus, you know, you have to judge
1 to 20. I've heard some crazy stuff.
Yeah, there's some big agencies that are like
1 to 40.
Yeah, 1 to 30.
And it's all the same competitors.
Yep.
You know, like this one kid told me that he was running like all the big skincare brands, Google Ads account. This was a few years ago.
Yeah.
All their ad accounts. And it was just like,
Copy paste.
well, in Australia, there's not that many people. There's not that many customers, right?
Correct.
So they're all bidding on the same terms.
Yeah.
And they're all competitively the same thing. So it's almost like you're running a fixed match.
Yeah, correct.
Sense. So it's like, oh, this particular client sounds like they're going to churn. How about you juice their account while you like sort of half juice these guys?
Yeah.
Or like the other way around as well. Like, hey, this client's about to churn. You know, increase their CPCs and like decrease the competition from this side.
Yeah.
It's like super shady stuff like that happens quite a bit. So yeah, but to your point, like 2K a month retainers, you know, like everyone has to start somewhere. But I think, you know, the philosophy always has to be working with the best possible clients to drive them the best possible value. Otherwise, just turn them away. Like at 2K a month, you know, we'll just turn them away and be like, you should do this, this, and this. Come back to us when you're, you know, at a certain size. Yeah. Ideally 6 figures a month. And then we can actually drive value. But at this current point, it's like, what do you think realistically, you know, you should spend your money on? You should probably spend as much as you can in the early phase on the ads themselves and learn a bit of it. I actually really want our brand owners to understand, you know, how to run ads because, and like how the ads work, because for, you know, a lot of our clients, it's 90% of their revenue comes from the ads. Yeah. The founders got no idea and they don't understand why, you know, their sales tanked in half after they, you know, broke.
And they'll just rage at you as well. Matt, they'll call you at like 2 a.m. Matt, what the fuck? Why are we tracking on half the revenue that we were last week? And you don't want that too. Yeah.
We've gone to the point where we actually catch this in front of the founder now. So,
oh, really?
Like if their website breaks, which is a classic, we'll just literally see conversion rate down. We're like monitoring this, right? We'll just go into the store activity log. And I'll be like, theme change, plugin change, theme change. Like 9 times out of 10, something on the website broke and the checkout's broken. Like this stuff happens all the time.
I know. I've done that myself before as well. We've had a time. I remember this from about 2.5 years ago. We were just like, why the fuck is just our revenue so low? And then it's like the checkouts weren't working in some countries and it was working in some other countries. So we're losing. And we're like, what the fuck? So I had to full search for devs, and then they found it. And then a piece of the old code from when we optimized the website broke, and it stopped showing the checkout to X amount of countries. So I had to recode that like within the night, and then we fixed it within like 48 hours. But that was like stressful as.
It's crazy, right? And like the way I built my agency is, and what I've realized is that people come to us for an outcome. They don't actually care about anything else. You know?
I think that's the case for many brand owners. Yeah.
Like that's the reality. They want least amount of work to get the biggest outcome, and they want to make sure that the effort they're putting in is right.
Yeah.
So with stuff like, you know, the brand checkout breaking, just like 2 or 3 days of that in e-com, because I'm also partnered in with some e-com brands on the back end. And the only reason I'm partnered and I don't run the whole thing is because I don't want to deal with fulfillment. It's another business, it's another headache, it's another thing, right? But 2 or 3 days, I understand the numbers enough to know that, you know, 2 or 3 days is really bad for the bottom line. That could be your, you know, profit for a week or two wiped out just like that.
Correct.
And so you can't really afford that. So my team are very proactive. Like we look at the end to end more than anything else, because otherwise, like if you run an agency, like, oh, we're just responsible for ads.
Correct.
Website's broken. Like, you know, whose fault is that? Or like, where does that sit? It's a very 50-50. We try to make sure our clients are on top of it, but we just know that realistically, you know, they're busy. Yeah. And so if it really drops off, we get in there and we go, hey, this is broken, that's
And
broken.
I think that's so important, right? Because most agency or agency owners, they don't really care about that. They go, hey, you hired me to do ads, so I won't step out of my scope. But then you don't realize that if, yes, you're responsible for ads, right? But then your ROAS starts to tank, or the performance starts to tank, the cost per click goes up, or whatever it is. Sometimes as an agency who's running the ads, you are not in control of the back end that controls the rest of the metrics. So if you're an agency who then ignores the back end, or you ignore the website, you ignore the UX of the website, then you're actually doing yourself a disservice. Whereas if you do a little bit extra than what you're supposed to be doing, you can not only retain a client for longer, you can generate better results, and then they'll be much happier to negotiate with you for different terms as well. So I think a lot of people don't think outside the box like that. Most agencies don't. They don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. Most agencies are built inverse to how we were built. So like we were built word of mouth for the longest time, and even now, like I'm actually for the first time properly sitting down working the marketing and all the other stuff.
I've been seeing your ads a lot recently. So,
yeah, I've been pushing them out more a bit, but like that's like not even, that's just me, putting more money into ads. That's not even me properly telling people about what we're doing. And like some of the crazy back end stuff that we've been up to. But yeah, they built it the wrong way, and they built the CRM and like all these SMA courses. I actually didn't, like everyone, I swear like half my competitors, they did the Iman Gadzi thing.
Yeah.
I didn't go through that, that flow. But the first thing there is they always focus on getting clients and your cold outreach and this outreach and email flows and ad sequences and this whole shebang, right? I didn't start there. I decided on like, logically, what does a client want? They want to make more money. Cool. If I can do that, I feel like they'll pay me money. Right?
Correct.
Which is
the truth.
Which is the truth. This is pretty basic.
Yeah.
So, I think that's where they go wrong. They're like, oh, if I do this, I can make this amount of money in this time. But that's why I think so many agencies have a bad rap, because they're just marketing companies who can't fulfill a service.
I agree.
They market themselves, and then
Which is why the churn rate in these marketing companies are so high as well. But that doesn't mean necessarily, they won't luck out too.
Yeah.
You can set up the same system, the same ad set, like the ad structure for 10 clients, and maybe one of them will stick, and 9 of them won't. But you still were able to get their retainers for 3 months, and then you just churn and you keep going. And that's the shit thing about these agencies, or the shit thing about agencies in general. I think for us as a business, as a brand, we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ad agencies now, and 1 in-house, and it's just a constant struggle to figure out what type of agency is good for you. But the reality is, out of these agencies that we worked with, they also have great case studies. They also have success stories, but also how long does that last? And we were a great success story for probably every single one of them too, right? We were able to scale from 0 to 200K a month or 300K a month with these agencies in a very short period of time. But were they able to maintain it? Were they able to keep us profitable on that? Probably not. But they'll snip the 1 month of case study and then they'll sell that. So that's one thing for people to consider as well when working with agencies. And that's the hard part. And like Matt said, to educate people on, or educate the brand owners on actually learning the ads and running the ads as well, I think is very, very important. Same thing, the conversation I had with you, right? Is I want to work with Matt, and I'm like, hey, I actually need to come in and learn about these ads and become an expert at it, because I want to understand how to best set up my business to do that. And I literally told Matt, this was literally like 3 days ago, I was like, I don't want to step on your toes and make you feel like I'm going to learn the ads and fuck off, right? But then now you saying that you want me to learn the ads, which is great. Whereas most other agencies will go, why? Why do you want to seal the back end? Like, do you not trust me? Like, why do you want to learn? Are you going to learn and then teach your team and then go? That's the sort of psychology behind a lot of agencies.
Totally.
Not all, but a lot.
I think that, to be honest, I think they're scared.
I agree. I think so too.
Because I think the reality is that a lot of agency owners know that their service needs to be better. And their service doesn't actually drive result. Like these case studies, right?
Yeah.
It's a classic. It's like a lot of these case studies from big agencies are from big brands. Big brands are the easiest, man.
Yeah.
Big brands are the easiest, and brands with organic and PR, right? A lot of our clients, man, really low or no organics, and we got them there with something like some dirty direct response ad. It's like, hey, does your elbow click when you do this? And it's just like something crazy, right? That you wouldn't even expect. And their organic social has like 3 posts and 20 followers, right? So that's why I'm really confident in what we're doing. But also on this note about clients going in-house, man, if a client can go in-house successfully and we can come in as consultants, like I'm more than happy to do that. You know, it's just that, and this is another interesting thing in Australia. I've noticed because we're doing more and more work with the States. We're expanding into the States pretty hard because all the Australian brands at a certain point have to go global.
Of course.
If you want to break multi-8 figures, you have to go global.
Correct.
The reason I'm not worried is because I realistically, and this is like probably a big claim, I think the talent doesn't actually exist in Australia for someone to take it in-house without the founder already being able to run it themselves. What I mean by that is to get a full-time staff member who's good enough to run ads and good enough to autonomously do it, that is a unicorn. Absolute unicorn. The only way we're able to do it is that we train everyone like every week, all the time. New thing comes out, we train them on it. New thing comes out, we train them on it. So most founders don't have that time, and most founders can't keep up with the latest things, and most founders can't push that level of training onto their team as well and make sure that they actually do it. And then the craziest thing is one wrong button or one wrong setting in the ad account means the whole thing is burning cash. So if for some of our clients, once they get to a certain point, they're going to want to in-house it. When they in-house it, we'll just consult for them and they'll be able to run it that way. But you have to really be at a certain size where you can afford to do that.
Of course.
And ideally, you don't need one person, you need a team.
Correct.
Right. And the reason you need the team is what happens when they go on leave? What happens when they're sick? Do you stop running your ads then? Like, does the founder get pulled into it? That is a whole thing in itself. So that never worried me. In fact, I want them to do that. And I think, it's actually getting to the point where, at the highest levels, we get equity into businesses now because they're like, oh, this is a better like comp structure. This makes more sense.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other point is if we were like trying to sign everyone on and just churning and burning everyone, then that makes a lot of sense. But we're literally aiming to run, the biggest campaigns in the world.
Yeah.
With the biggest spends. And like some of the crazy stuff we see is like, 5 or like 6-figure day spends. And it's just like, different game.
That's crazy. Yeah, that is a very, very different game. I do want to dive into that a little bit more as we progress in today's conversation. It is absolutely fascinating. I think in the ads world, and what I've noticed as well, even with the guests that we've been having on the show, is that a lot of these founders, they run their own ads, or they had an agency and they got so fucking sick of it that they literally, they always say, oh, the founder, the business owner should not be working in the business. They should be working on the business. But the sad thing about Australia is, one, paying salary is fucking expensive. 2,
It's hectic.
For the salary you pay, the skill that you get is fucking atrocious.
It's not good.
Yeah, at all. Like, especially in this field of paid media buying, most of the big guys are working for these big marketing agencies where they have 20 staff servicing 400 clients. You're not really developing a crazy skill set there as well. And you're kind of like a worker bee rather than someone that's proactively thinking.
Exactly.
So if you want to in-house these people, most people that are in-house that I've heard of come from their ex-Google or their ex-Meta or whatever, like in-house teams there, right? Which are old account managers there that have now gone to try to work in-house for smaller brands. And like what we've noticed is these in-house meta guys, all they do is they just try to make you spend.
Yeah.
And that's literally their job, is to make you spend more. And every time they make a suggestion, it fucking sucks. Like, it sounds great in theory, but none of them actually make the client money.
Like the meta rep?
Yeah. It's fucking
So
atrocious, bro.
These meta reps are hilarious. So there's been a lot of talk about these guys because a lot of them are actually contracted third parties by Facebook. And their KPIs, one solid KPI we know for a fact is that the more, like the percentage of Advantage Plus on in your account.
Wow.
Right? That's their KPI when they got you on the phone.
That's so fucked.
Here's a second one that a friend told me, like a friend who's like deep in the drop shipping trenches and running like some of the craziest stuff. He told me that, and this isn't confirmed, but we should get into the meta insider stuff because I think this this is like where it gets really spicy. But he told me that their KPI is how many minutes on the phone they spend with you as a brand owner.
What the fuck? Why?
So a strategy that some people are using is to get their most talkative person on the phone with these meta reps.
Oh my God.
Boosts up their numbers, and apparently they get approvals into the higher levels of escalation for different issues and support and everything.
Wow.
Man, wait till you hear about the back end of Meta.
Yeah.
Like one thing people aren't aware of is not all Meta traffic's equal. So the different, I don't know if you've heard about this, but the different qualities of Meta ad account traffic and the category that your ad account sits in determines how good your traffic is and how much it costs you.
Yeah, I think I've heard a little bit about it from a lot of like the Jay Wright students.
Yeah.
So, obviously with Jay and his team, they run a lot of big ads too. And I've had some of his students on the show as well. So it's like when we have these discussions, it's actually quite interesting. I think what the structure is right now in Australia and what I'm slowly realizing myself as well is, as a founder, if you don't understand your ads, you don't know how to operate them at a very, very high level, you will struggle in Australia to scale to that $10 million mark. I feel like that's the one major thing. And once you hit that $1 million mark, whether or not you have mentors, whether or not you have a team, in-house or out-house team, you have to definitely go global from that stage, and you have to have a full team that's on your ads like pretty much 24/7 to move things, change dials and whatever. That's kind of what I've realized is the playbook here in Australia. Scaling, it's not 0 to $1 million anymore. You have to consider scaling 0 to 10 million and still being very, very actively involved in your ad account yourself. Back in the day, to get to 100K a month on e-com is like, that's great.
Yeah.
And as a founder, you can do that very, very easily. But getting from 0 to 500K or $1 million a month, you now as a founder need to be back in looking over that, because back in the day you could just get a great team on board and they will sort all of it out. But nowadays what I've realized is all the best founders in Australia that are still having very nice, tight, small knit teams are all on the ads themselves, which is very, very interesting to me. So yeah, I mean, like going to that next stage, I know there's definitely a lot of changes with the Meta platform. That you've got the Andromeda updates, which everyone's freaking out about. But yeah, like what is it like from a Meta perspective? If, for example, I'm a brand owner, but for the newer brand owners out there who are probably listening as well, as an agency, as someone who has now been running the ads, and you've got friends that are doing crazy, crazy things in the industry as well, you've got insiders that you know too. So you've got a wealth of knowledge from Meta, right? What are the... Let's just go from top level all the way down to the crazy, like behind the scenes shit in Meta. Run me through as a brand owner. What do I need to know to best utilize this platform to my advantage?
All right. We're getting deep into it.
We're getting deep now.
We're getting deep into it.
This is the rabbit hole.
There's a tier list, right? Okay. So we'll start with, the white hat stuff, the normal stuff. Mm-hmm. The white hat stuff is that most people still don't have the foundations in place. Super basic foundations, especially in Australia. And Australia is a really interesting case study because, like you said earlier, why is it hard to find talent? It's because none of the talent here is on the leading edge, including the coaching groups, including everyone else. And the other thing is every brand's actually different. So for some businesses, you can run, one campaign, one ad set. Actually, that actually never works. I'm going to call it out here. Anyone who says they spend a lot through that thing is complete bullshit. Never works.
Okay, explain it to people. So one ad set,
one campaign,
one campaign,
with all your
one
ads,
ad set, and with
right?
100 ads in there. Yeah,
100 ads in there.
Yeah,
guaranteed. Yeah. You're either burning money or you're volatile as fuck. Like that is the worst advice I've ever heard.
Okay, because I'm seeing that everywhere, all over TikTok right now.
It's everywhere. Such bad advice.
Okay,
such horrific advice. Yeah.
Okay, very good. We're already punching faces right now.
Yeah. Like no one spending any like decent budget should be doing that.
Okay.
And minimum is 2 campaigns, one for testing and then one for scaling. But you have to watch that scaling one like a hawk, because what Meta will do is spending good, and then boom, you're spending like this really shitty ad on these really shitty placements, right? Okay. And your CPC might look amazing. Like one thing we've seen recently is that Meta's just blasting budget into audience network.
Interesting.
Bot traffic, like everyone, right?
Interesting.
Not everyone, but like everyone's always had a piece of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of new ad accounts getting launched, a lot of new ads getting launched are getting tested in audience network first, and that just melts your budget.
Okay.
Like that, just don't do that.
I swear that's like the biggest Meta scam as well. Like that's fucked.
It's massive. It's crazy.
It's a fucking crazy scam, but you can't do anything about it. But
you can turn it off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Yes.
So turn off audience network.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's the basic stuff.
Okay.
The other more concrete basic stuff is pixel tracking and third-party tools. We sort of spoke about this. If you don't have at a certain point, once you're trying to shoot for 7 figures a month, if you don't have a third-party pixel tracking point, you're just you should definitely invest in that. 20 to 30% of Shopify data still doesn't spend or just doesn't send back to Meta. And the reason for that is because it costs a lot to send. Like that's a lot of server load. Every time someone views your page, every time someone adds to cart, every time someone performs any
And
action.
they log every action.
Every action. But that's so much server load for Shopify to pay for when you're paying them like whatever, right? So they kind of cheap out for some reason.
Interesting.
Right? And so even though your Shopify thing says it's sending maximum data, it's not. So you need a third-party server that you pay for. Like there's heaps of them, and it force feeds everything back to Meta.
Interesting.
And Google, right? And TikTok. So we've been doing this stuff for years, but like no, people are just talking about it more and more now. But
It is becoming quite pushed out now.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of ads from like High Rose. I've been seeing a lot of ads from like or High Ross or whatever they call it. But there's a lot of different platforms that are pushing third party pixel tracking or improved visibility, or we send better data to make all of that.
It's also a funny one because they're guaranteeing better performance.
Yeah.
But the only reason the performance also looks better in the
It's
short
because
term
the tracking is better.
because it's tracking more sales. And then like that's a whole nother thing, right? So that's one thing. And then the other thing is like this is also the thing that people don't really know about, which is page feedback score.
Okay.
If you don't have good like retention flows to get good reviews, like Facebook is surveying your customers after they've checked out.
Yeah.
Facebook themselves. How was your experience with this brand? If your feedback score drops below a certain point, you get worse traffic.
Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
This is what brand owners don't know. Like if you're selling some crap product and you've been
Like you're a drop shipper, 20-day shipping time,
Exactly.
fucking product arrives, it's in a white box with a fucking barcode from Temu
exactly.
on it. Yeah.
Like you're going to get worse feedback and you're going to get more expensive traffic.
Interesting.
But like this rabbit hole goes deep, right? So you need to verify a business manager. You need to enable two-factor authentication on all your accounts and like make sure everything's super tight. Pretty much the more Facebook thinks you're going to get hacked, the more likelihood of getting hacked you have as a percentage, the more expensive your traffic is to hedge against that hack.
Interesting.
Right. That's how the psychology of the quality of traffic you get. And we're sort of diving more into like behind the scenes of Meta.
Yeah.
Now on the creative thing, I just want to get into this as well. I would say 9 out of 10 brands in Australia still aren't hitting it on the head with creative. And the reason isn't because their creative isn't engaging. It isn't because their creatives aren't viral or like way out there and like this looks like an amazing ad. It's literally because, and we've tried this a lot, right? Sometimes you take a viral piece of content, you put it in the ad account and it works. Sometimes you take the same viral content, you put it in, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work, correct. We've tested that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason is because it's not structured like an ad and doesn't speak to the ad/conversion audience in the right way to get them to convert.
Interesting.
So you're just paying for watch time pretty much.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's break that down and let's unpack that for a lot of people. So those who already know, I own a brand called Cheeky Glow. I think we are probably one of the most viral self-care brands in Australia, if not the world. Like we've done billions of views. So we have videos that get tens of millions of views, which organically will make us $250,000 in a week. Happens. You run those as an ad, it won't perform as well. Now, if we're taking your psychology now and applying it to our psychology of run the winners as ads, what we're missing here, and the probably missing piece of the puzzle here is we need to take that winning ad, we break it apart, potentially change the hook, change a call to action, and then reutilize that, put that back together, then we run it as an ad that would likely produce better results. Is that what you're trying to say?
To an extent, yes.
Okay, cool.
But I also want to break into a couple of reasons as to why when you run it as an ad, it's not profitable.
All right.
Right?
Talk me through it.
There's two reasons.
Yeah.
One is what you just mentioned, which is it's designed for virality and views and trickle through sales, if that makes sense. Running an ad's more expensive than going viral.
Correct.
That's the reality.
Much more expensive.
Much more expensive than going viral. So your ad or like your piece of content which goes viral and generates sales very cheaply may not perform as well as an ad because your CPMs are like literally 10 times. I mean, you had $0 CPMs in one instance.
Correct.
And then you had, $10, $20, $30 CPMs in the other instance.
Yeah.
Now, the good part of that virality is that the more viral your content is, the more Facebook likes it, right? Because Facebook wants to show customers content or users content that keeps them on the platform. Because it allows them to show them more ads and make more money off that user session. So by leveraging that virality component, but not selling to them, you're sort of like, you're just dropping everyone out the bottom.
Interesting.
So that's why you have to blend that with a strong call to action to get them, to actually get to the product page or actually get them to check out. So it's those two. It's like you need to reduce your CPMs in the ad account, but then you need to hook that actual conversion psychology in there. Otherwise, like the gold standard is someone can watch one ad about your brand and then they can convert on that.
Which would be hectic.
That's a scalable ad, right?
Yes.
Because the other thing is, and this catches founders out, is I jacked up my budget. 3 days later, nothing happened, right? But it's because you don't have ads in your account that are scalable in that window.
Interesting.
Right? For example, post-purchase survey. When did you first hear about us? It's probably weeks ago. So when you scale it today and then you turn it off in a week and then you get a sort of half blip later, you don't even notice it, right? You go, oh, that was a good few days, whatever else.
It's like, oh, I made an extra 10%, 15% for some reason.
Exactly.
You won't even
notice it, right?
Like, oh, it's just a good day today. That's
exactly.
All. Yeah.
And that's another thing. So because your ads are long conversion window ads, and you try to crank the budget and expect it to work tomorrow, it just doesn't work like that. Whereas an ideal ad that you want to scale as well has a tighter, urgent conversion window.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's the ideal piece. We have some clients, high AOV, where it's literally like 3 months
Wow.
before they actually convert. And that's just like scary because you got to realize that all these people are coming through and they're not going to buy now, and there's seasonality, there's everything else.
They'll wait for a sale or they'll see something and then they'll convert. Yeah.
Exactly. But you have to spend in even those down periods. Otherwise, you won't get the massive payoffs in those larger periods. So
is that how you hear about those $1 million days that just happened? Well, Black Friday just happened. So let's talk about Black Friday as well. Black Friday just happened. So Black Friday just happened. There will be crazy results and not so crazy results. For us, our Black Friday was pretty mediocre compared to previous Black Fridays.
Yeah.
I would classify, and I'm very transparent about this, I would very much classify our Black Friday as a very subpar Black Friday for us in terms of performance. And I'm very happy for a lot of my friends out there who are getting great performance right now. I saw a friend of mine, he posted up, he did a 60K spend and got back 750, which is great. And I know that leading up to it, he was also running ads. So I actually don't know what the exact spend was, total spend. But for the actual campaign itself, fantastic. 11 ROAS, not too bad at all. And I'm sure you had some great client stories. What sort of stories did you have around Black Friday that have been quite interesting? Like, what was the lead up, the psychology behind it? Because I know a lot of people, they feed the list first, or they spend a fuckload of money, make zero for like a whole week.
Yeah.
And then they run an ad and then it's like, wow, 40 ROAS all out of nowhere, right? So
totally.
Those things happen. Different psychologies, different strategies. What did you see as an agency? And then what are some of the big successful campaigns that you kind of ran during Black Friday?
I would say like most successful are like, over $1 million a month. I would say for a brand that's not doing, that level consistently is just a great results. And we saw that quite frequently. The biggest thing is that a lot of people do take a lot of unnecessary risk in Black Friday. And I would say that you hear about these stories about people building a massive list, holding it all back, and then dropping it on the day and doing these crazy spiky days.
Yeah.
I'm very cautious when it comes to that.
It's very scary. Did you see that there was a story during Black Friday? It was a clothing brand. I can't remember who it was. Those girls had an absolute shocker. I think they did like 700K in the first like hour. Then they realized that their discount code's double stacked.
Exactly.
Did you see that one?
Exactly.
That was crazy. So that means they lost so much money and they had to refund. I think it was like 7,000 orders.
Plus customer support.
Correct.
Plus
lost customers as well. Processing 7,000 orders.
And with chargeback, here's another thing. If you get chargeback too often,
you're fucked.
You get random declines. People don't realize that Shopify will randomly decline customers that are checking out.
Yeah, we've had that. We've had customers email us and go, hey, I just bought something. I can't check out. I don't know why. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's because of your chargeback rate and the payment processing backend network, which is a whole nother can of worms.
There's just games on games.
There's games on games. And it goes, so we haven't even gone to the deep meta stuff yet, right?
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of a longer sell period.
Yeah.
Especially now. And when I say especially now, Meta's spend pacing day by day is ridiculous.
Okay.
It's like not stable at all. Shopify checkout went down Cyber Monday as an example.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So if you are concentrated and you have that much concentration risk, you're just so much more susceptible to so many bad things happening.
Environmental tech issues.
Exactly.
Everything. Yeah.
So for most brands, I recommend at least a week and then ideally longer because it just allows you to ramp that spend and gauge demand and make real-time changes to ride the wave as profitably and as high as possible.
Yeah.
That's our recommendation. But how do you win at Black Friday? It's actually 3 months before.
Yeah. Interesting.
You have to scale up into Black Friday. and track all these metrics and these financial targets really tightly, so that you know that the spend you're spending, a week before Black Friday, for example, is at a lower conversion rate because you're getting window shoppers. And most people don't understand this kind of stuff, right?
And we see that too. And just to be on the other end of Matt, for example, I always like to share with our audience. Like, Matt is on the side of the agency running the ads. I'm literally the brand he would be running ads for. So as a brand, I'm a lot more aware of this than my business partner is. She's a little bit more pedantic when it comes to things like, why the fuck is our rev so shit? Why are we getting all this poor traffic? And I'm like, yeah, but this is the psychology of the customer. Pre-Black Friday, no one's fucking shopping. Everyone's loading up their carts. They're taking a look at the websites. They're sussing out what sales are coming. Everyone knows now if you opt into the email the week before the Black Friday, you'll get the best deals, all of that sort of bullshit. Everyone knows the game now. So the week prior to Black Friday and you get a drop in rev or you get a drop in conversion rate, it's pretty normal. And I think you just got to be trust the process. Yeah.
To a degree, you got to trust but verify.
Yeah. If you just blindly trust, you get fucked.
Exactly. But yeah, ramping into Black Friday is super important.
Okay.
Because some people just go live on Black Friday. If you have one meta ad delivery bug, ad account goes down, ad account hits spending limit, credit card bounces, whatever, you're cooked.
Yeah, that's it, done.
You've really, and you don't have a backup because your backup was it's just your plan A. You just have Black Friday. You don't have any other promotional period that's like that. So I recommend founders to de-risk, especially if they're trying to scale. Because if you screw that up, that takes away all your ammunition. And then you got Chinese New Year at the start. Jan, Feb, unless you have campaigns dialed in for that, are not going to be super, crazy for most brands, which is another topic. I think they should totally be crazy months, but people don't actually push it the right way in my take. But yeah. And on top of all this, there's a crazy meta stuff, which I do actually really want to talk about.
Okay,
because it's hectic.
Well, let's run into it. Let's go deep into the meta. What sort of things have you seen from in the metaverse that can impact someone's success as someone purchasing ads and spending a lot on ads? Because like you said, a lot of the businesses, 90% of their revenue comes from ads.
Yeah.
So it is a huge lever that you have to be very well versed in, or you will get fucking crushed by the Zuck machine, and then that's
Exactly.
Get burnt out. Sorry, run me through it.
So once you've got all foundations sorted,
Yep.
and you've got this machine on tap, if you want to play at the highest levels, you just have to understand what the game actually is. And the game is that Meta's got an X amount of traffic and X amount of people on there who are ready to buy stuff.
Yeah.
And your job is to get as many of those people at the lowest cost as possible. Right? And the craziest players in the game all have insiders.
Yeah.
Everyone, right? Everyone's got them. And the purpose of these insiders is to do three main things. One, whenever you have a problem or your winning ad goes down, whatever else, they need to be there to push it through and bring it back really fast.
Yeah.
Because every day is lost revenue. If you're spending 50, 100K a day, every day an ad's gone down or whatever.
That is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money that you're burning. And there's always a finance back end on this as well. You've got all your inventory there, your cash flow, you need the cash, whatever else it is.
Correct.
The other parts of it are that the quality of traffic you get, people are like, oh yeah, you need to do all these different things. People don't understand that you can just buy the better traffic, as in you can pay for the best ad account that won't go down. And in certain industries and niches where, some founders come to me like, how are our competitors running these ads? They're so non-compliant, but we're getting done if we put a bit of too much skin color in an ad.
We get taken down if there's too much in a bikini or there's too much whatever. There's a before and after, instantly gone. Yeah.
Instantly off. But then you see the crazy ads where there's someone's pretty much naked.
Fucking crazy before and after, and someone's got a G-string and shit. It's crazy.
It's well, how do they do it? And these ads perform. That's the funniest part.
100%.
They pop off. And then
100%.
Also when you get banned, when you come back, it's kind of gross.
Yes.
And then the performance isn't there. And then also you're kind of did my competitors report my ads? Are they out to get me? I'm going to start reporting their ads. This is all the classic kind of stuff we see. But what it actually is that these guys, if they're pumping real volume, they have insiders to manually push their ads through. Which is pretty hectic.
Very interesting. That's very
interesting.
How do Meta insiders work? How do you break it down? So are they just literally actual Meta in-house staff?
Meta staff.
Yeah, who are on ad account managers or whatever, and then they have
not even. They're more inside than that.
More inside than that. Okay.
You have to know people to get the good ones,
of course.
But yeah, this is And like this has been going on for years.
Of course.
Years and years and years and years.
I mean, corruption is everywhere.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's crazy, right?
It's just
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But these guys are behind the scenes and
Yeah.
they're pulling levers that you can't imagine. For example, like right now, if I want to see any business's ad account,
Yeah.
I can just
See it.
see it
Yeah.
for X amount of dollars, right?
Correct.
Anyone's ad account. No one's
Interesting.
safe.
Yes.
If I want to, you can also spend money to actually take down the quality score of someone's traffic.
Wow.
Yeah. So you got a few competitors in the game and you want to dominate.
Yeah.
This is more so in the US. Like people in
Of
Australia
course.
aren't clued into this.
Yes.
And you want to dominate them. You can pay your insiders to do this kind of stuff. And then you
Interesting.
can also pay insiders to see what's the quality of my traffic and are there any restrictions? Like, did I do a drop shipping brand 3 years ago and I got restricted on that with some chargebacks?
Yeah.
And that's a black mark against my new ad account
Wow.
because it's tied back to me, right?
Yeah.
And this is a lot of founders and they don't realize this. Did I get hacked once? Like that's a big one as well. Did I, for example, you got, maybe your ad account taken down.
Yeah.
When it comes back, it doesn't come back the same for a little period of time.
Yeah.
And if it continues to not come back the same, it's usually because there's a violation in the back end that needs to be cleared.
Interesting.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Right. And the difference between having these and not having these is the difference between profitability and just like stagnation. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Very, very interesting.
this is where the game like gets pretty hectic
Mm-hmm.
because you can imagine if that's sort of the case, like this happens at the corporate levels as well. It's well known that if you have the right contacts at Meta and you go and invite and speak with all the senior people, somehow your ad account just gets a little bit better. Right. Same with Google.
Yeah.
Like, Google's really well known for this.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And if they're trying to get you to spend more, and the account managers on the other side, they're like, I want to make a career at Google. I want to show them how good I can make these clients spend. They might give you, a bit of competitor data on
Interesting.
your competitors to help you outspend them or outbid them in the market. And Australia's tiny. You might only really have like 3 to 5 real competitors.
That's
and they'll
true.
just tell you, hey, these guys spending in relation to you is roughly about this.
Interesting. We have, okay, now that you say that, I have heard that from, or just account manager level people before, but yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, they've got all the information that you want. So it's
course.
just about how do you get it out.
Interesting. And I know that TikTok definitely does that too. TikTok can literally choose, even organically, who to turn on and off.
Yeah, they got a viral button.
Yes, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah,
Literally.
pretty much. This one's a good
Hilarious.
one. Let's send them. So
Literally.
very, very interesting. Okay. Well, what else? I mean, this sort of information is great, but I think for a lot of brand owners, it's probably not super applicable at majority of levels, right? Like
Totally.
when we're talking about where this sort of stuff comes in is we're talking $1 million businesses and probably not even $1 million businesses. We're talking like 8-figure businesses will start to really activate these sort of resources, I guess, deeper resources, the 8 and 9-figure businesses in Australia, which in Australia is probably just a handful. There's not too many 8 or 9-figure revenue businesses in the e-com space. Probably, I don't know, a couple thousand, if even. So yeah, I mean, like for the normal people who are like the sub 7-figure businesses, these are obviously not things that they need to consider or really, really dive into. So from a meta ads perspective, what should let's break it down. So let's just call it our tier A, B, and C players. So our tier A players are like maybe our 9-figure brands. Like they're obviously like top creme de la creme. Maybe tier S, we'll call it tier S. The tier A's are probably like your 8 figures and above. And then your B's are going to kind of like your 7 figures floating to 10. And then your C grade players are like your sub 7s, right? So what at each level you're playing a different game. How does that work, and what should people really be focusing on? Let's just say if you're a C grade player trying to get to that mil mark, what is the one lever from a meta ads perspective that is probably going to make the biggest difference?
All the way up, I would say, even into 8 figs,
Yeah.
it is really, I'm not even going to call it creative strategy anymore. It's creative systems.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
everyone sort of bangs on about creative strategy and launching random ads and everything else.
Yeah.
There is a cost to launching ads.
Of course.
You launch 100 tests and they all fail, you've burnt that amount of testing.
And not
budget.
just that, your creative team that's fucking filming and
Yeah,
editing.
everything. There's a lot of
and
overhead.
the resources, a lot of overhead that goes into
Yeah.
creation.
There's outside of all the foundationals, which I think people should outsource. Like even if I start a brand tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I'm outsourcing all of the media buying. Like that's someone else's job.
Yeah.
The only thing really to focus on is to understand, like, and this is something that founders are just not across. It's just watch your winning ad like 10 times and figure out exactly why it's a winning ad. And then iterate it horizontally, meaning iterate the format. So same message, it's a podcast, it's a 3 reasons why, it's a like all sorts of different visual hooks, all sorts of different ways of delivering that message.
Yeah.
But then also breaking down each part of the message and then iterating it vertically, which is how do we change this message and how do we change this message to new personas?
Yeah.
All the way up to 8 figures, even beyond 8 figures, that's all people really need to focus on. That's the highest leverage thing to do, is actually have a look at the ad that you're running to people.
Yeah.
And not enough people do that. And then because of that, their feedback loop of data and the context in which they see an ad account or ad spend or anything else, it's all broken.
Yeah.
Right. That's actually the anchor point.
Interesting. So it's all creative. And then if it's creative, I think a lot of people struggle with that right now, right? Because I run an agency where we do content creation for a lot of people, but also at the same time, we know that for a lot of small brands, they just cannot afford big retainers. They cannot afford massive creative direction, like creative diversity. Like, for example, if I were to create you 8, 12, 15, 20 videos a month, that's great. But when it comes down to testing for ads, you require significantly more. And as that scales, that becomes more. I think what's really going to be really crazy moving forwards is how small businesses in Australia figure out how to develop a strong feedback loop of creative. And I guess AI comes into that as well. But I am on the fence with how AI performs. But maybe you can tell me, has AI ads, all of these sort of things actually performed like what they sell them as out there?
A pretty broad question.
Yeah.
On this creative system though, I'll just sort of wrap it up. That the creative system, the biggest thing that people sort of screw up is that they go out and make like 100 ads, try them all, and they all flop. And then it's like, this sucks. I'm never testing creative again.
Yeah.
Whereas what it should actually be is, I think this will be a winner. We should test it. Like you should actually go into every creative test with conviction that I've done enough analyzing of this ad, so I know my next 4 iterations. It doesn't have to be 100, right? 4 iterations are actually going to hit.
Interesting.
That's how it's meant to feel. It's not meant to be like, oh, just slap it up and
slap 100 random ones.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. It's not meant to feel like that. It's like iterative. On this AI component, at the depths of AI, right? Like the largest affiliates, and affiliates is a good place to look because they're the best in the world at driving traffic.
Yeah.
The best affiliates are using AI to drive like traffic to the craziest offers at like the most insane scales already. So it's actually already here.
Yeah.
The main problem is that, like to be completely honest, the level of skill it requires to be able to do that
is so high.
Is so high right now that a normal founder can't. A, they can't hire someone to do it. B, they won't be able to do it themselves, so they don't have enough time to just sit down and focus on that.
Figure it out.
Yeah, but it's already there.
Yeah.
It's already there. So like human generated AI, there's a special way to do it. Like the sweet spot right now, definitely use the voice to test the scripts. Voice to test the scripts with different B-roll.
Yeah.
Take your most viral B-roll and then test direct response scripts. Boom.
Interesting. So just different voices, like 11 labs, different voices.
Yeah.
Okay.
11 labs, different voices. Upload your own voice.
Yeah.
And then make your own voice.
Like voiceover content.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That is a great high leverage way to do it.
Yeah.
The other crazy stuff is farming organic accounts. So we're looking into this right now where you set up 100 different TikTok accounts and then you get them to post organic slideshows.
The Iman Ghazi's the method from like 3 or 4 years ago. That's how it blew up.
But automate it with AI.
Yeah.
So, and it's crazy what you can do with this now. It's crazy. It's really
have you
insane.
seen all the mobile phone farms that you can buy from China?
Yeah, absolutely. Mobile phone farms.
Yeah.
Like the technical side of this, because the IT stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is crazy. So
I can't wrap my head around it because I'm not like IT inclined. I just look at if I can buy 100 phones and then connect it somehow. If I had one place to upload and then let it spread, that'd be great.
So that's one thing.
Yeah.
The phones, I believe the phones are actually used for something else.
For view farming as well.
View farming. Yeah. So it's as soon as you post something from a bot account, you view farm it and juice it past all the gates within TikTok so that it senses it has a virality.
Yes.
And then it lets it really launch.
That's what happens in Southeast Asia. There was actually a story I saw when I was in, where was I? I was in Bali last month, and then I was seeing a lot of contents from the Chinese entrepreneurs there. And he was like, he's doing 500,000 orders a day at the moment through his warehouse. So big. It's
Yeah.
fucking very large business. 500K orders a day is insane. People will look at that number and go, in Australia, that's an impossibility.
It's
But when
impossible.
you hear Asia, it's fucking... bro,
Asia,
the
US, anywhere else in the world.
Normal.
Literally
500K
anywhere
orders
else.
is insane, right? Like you're literally doing like maybe $5-10 million days. You can do it in Asia. And he was saying, no matter what product, you just find me a good product that has a great demand. You send it to me here and you watch. He's so confident that he'll blow up any product.
Yeah.
And you just look at how it happens and you just fucking see his room and it's just like massive server farms that bang. The second it goes out, you get like 100,000 views in like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
It's like, and then any product just goes viral. That's crazy.
That's where it's at.
That's the hacks.
Right? And that's where
That's the hacks.
the only reason it's not here is because there's not enough market here.
Yeah.
Australian
One, not
market's
enough market,
tiny.
and people won't be able to afford it too. Imagine buying a 5,000 phone
Yeah,
farm.
no, there's no
Bro,
point.
that's probably like 50, 100K, if even, let alone the setup costs and maintenance costs. Most people here won't be able to afford it, let alone will they, think in that sort of way as well. Asia is very smart in that sense.
Asia's
Fucking
crazy.
cooked. Like all the Taobao sellers and all of these like Ali sellers in China, it's fucking next level, man.
Here's one you'll like.
Yeah.
So what they do on Temu, for example, the back end of how Temu works is, and you'll love this. You upload your product, and then they are actually price split testing it across all their users.
Oh yeah.
So you go, I sell it for $1,000.
Yeah.
Team will try to sell it to this guy, 1,100. That guy, 1,300. This guy, 1,200. They're actually going to find the price at which it sells the most
That's fucking crazy.
because of their distribution, right?
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
think, and they're pulling people in with cheap stuff, but they're actually selling high ticket items on Temu as well.
Yes, of course. I've seen it now.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's like a serious contender with Amazon, and that's
Yeah.
where it's like headed now, right? But yeah, from distribution, paid virality, like farming virality, all this kind of stuff, it's already here. I think Australia is just not. We just don't have that context. Like everything here is actually still a couple of years behind, and a lot of the advice out here is also generic. Like here's another one for you. Running an ad account over here, different to the US.
Yeah.
But all the advice here is still from the US.
Okay. All right. Run it through. What's the big difference between Aussie and US based accounts, and what sort of advice have you been seeing that people are giving?
Okay, so people have the same thing, like creative testing and scaling campaign, right?
Yeah. Very generic, right?
Very
now.
generic.
Super generic.
Super generic. That scaling campaign is going to max out really fast in Australia. Like people don't understand 25, 26 million, 28 million people maybe in Australia.
Yeah.
How many are on Facebook and Instagram?
Correct.
How many are going to buy your thing? And then how much does that reach actually cost?
Yeah.
After a certain amount of spend, you've maxed out Australia. You
Yeah.
literally cannot hit more people in Australia. And it's real easy to get there. Like buy, $1 to $3 million of revenue, and like assuming a normal rise, you probably hit a good chunk of Australia.
Correct.
That will convert, right?
Correct.
And so the advice is like, find a winning ad and scale it. Find a winning ad and scale it. Whereas it's actually more about a depth game. It's actually about show this person 10 ads so they have a higher chance of converting.
Interesting.
Versus in the US, if you rip a winning ad, there's so many people there.
Because you push to 1, then you push to 5, then you push to 10, then you push to 20, and that works. Whereas in Australia, once you've done that, you've already maxed it. You've hit everyone.
Exactly. So the psychology is different. You have to actually convince people that they should buy your thing more.
Interesting. In America.
In Australia. Whereas in America, you can have one ad that goes like, this is what we do, this is why we do it. This
and that's why their ROAS can be higher, I guess. Is that
Exactly.
why? Whereas in Australia,
And
you have to,
scalability.
and in Australia, you have to really go, see my ad once, see my ad 7 times, see my ad 11 times, then I convert on the last ad, but you wasted 10 ads of ad spend. I gotcha.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Exactly. It still happens in the US, but it's different.
Yes.
It's different. You can have one winning ad that spends at an insane amount per day. Whereas over here, you'll never hit that.
Interesting.
And people don't understand. That's like a physics constraint.
Yeah.
You can't out physics that.
It's just it's maths. You
it's just
can't out
maths.
maths. Like it's just how it is.
Yeah. And so when you're running your ad accounts, a lot of the advice is just like wrong. Like one campaign, one ad set, and hoping everyone sees all the ads.
Yeah.
Is wrong because it's going to spend on like some static with free shipping on it, right? And then your top of funnel is all of a sudden cooked, or like your higher level awareness spend is gone.
Interesting.
And then you run out of customers, and then like your ROAS, you'll spike for a month, and then you just slow death.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I think we've kind of seen that in our own ad accounts. Like we've had some really good months where, we're pushing and it's actually doing well, highly profitable. And then you start to kind of, if I literally have the map, which I do, because I drew it out last week, it kind of looks like this. And then you can start to see it like plateau a little bit. And then you start to see it kind of like trickle down.
Yeah.
And as it starts to trickle down, you realize, okay, we've probably hit the same customer so many times, or we've hit the entire portion of Australia that's interested in our product.
Exactly.
So yeah, and for the product that we sell, it's not as generic as a fucking t-shirt or a jacket or something.
Exactly.
So we probably don't even have that big of a demographic here in Australia to sell. So
yeah. And it's also about how do you, like there are people at different awareness stages.
Yeah.
And the ad that's going to get the most spend is for the bottom of funnel.
Of
Because, you're telling Meta, get me the lowest amount of conversions or lowest cost of conversions.
Yeah.
At the cheapest cost for my 7-day click window. That's what everyone's default is, right?
That's right.
For Meta to do that, it's just hitting bottom of funnel.
Of course.
That's all it's going to do. It's also, funnily enough, still the best algorithm to hit on.
Yeah.
But people aren't aware that there's a difference between this ad, which goes, your KP, for example, for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Your KP has been so bad your whole life and you're so aware of how bad this is that, you just buy our stuff right now. Like that person's like, oh my God, I have to buy it, right? But what about me, right? Or like, let's say some other person who's completely unaware. I don't think about KP at all.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's a problem.
Yeah.
But how do you make that person or me or like person in that thing think it's a problem?
Interesting.
Which sounds kind of dark because it's almost like, how do I make someone like me who's just going about my day think that I actually have a problem, so I need
That
to
you're
buy
insecure,
a product?
that's
yeah,
right.
exactly. How do you almost make me more insecure to buy this product? Or how do you highlight this need in my life so I buy it more?
Interesting.
And that kind of ad that allows you to take someone from just going about their day completely unfazed.
Oh fuck, do I have issues?
Yeah,
Like
literally.
that? Yeah.
Literally. To like, oh my gosh, I need this. That is the type of ad that you have to force spend behind.
Yeah.
And then that's what will carry your account as well.
Interesting. And then so as the account operator or as the person behind that account, that's kind of your job to identify these ads and identify these channels to push it down, because Meta's just going to go through the path of least resistance, right?
Exactly.
So yeah. Okay, interesting. How do you do that then? How would you force sort of spend behind certain types of ads? So let's just say you go to a client, you go, I need you to give me 10 angles like this because we're going to do exactly what you just said. We're going to try to force a passerby to kind of look into the store and then at the same time go, yeah, maybe I do need this, right? But then obviously Meta's going to go, I don't really want to spend on this because these passerbys are just passerbys. So how would you then kind of play that game and, manipulate that spend or force that spend? How would you do it when Meta's trying to push the budget away?
Of course. So you have to use ABOs still or separate campaigns to actually drive these narratives. And then you have to look at every other metric that's not purchase.
Interesting.
Because purchase is the last click.
Yeah.
Right. It's literally the last 24-hour view or a 7-day click.
Yeah.
People don't see one ad typically in an untouched ad account. They don't see one ad that convert. Ideally, we get their creative strategy to a point where they do.
Well,
right?
ideally, that'd be great. You make so much money that way.
Yeah, and that also explains why some brands just scale really
Go
fast.
crazy, yeah.
Because you put more money in, you make more money.
Yeah, correct.
But
They've
a lot of
just
brands
driven an instant demand on that product.
Exactly. But you have to break down sort of every angle, and you have to break down every metric within each ad. So there's hook rate, obviously thumb shot, like everyone's across these metrics, but I don't think people know how to really understand it.
Okay, let's break it down. What are the sort of metrics you look for and why? Why do you look for those metrics?
So the basic ones are hook and hold rate and outbound click. So some people still aren't clued in on outbound click, but it's really important to know how much your traffic costs.
Interesting. Yep.
And not just a CPC, but actually an outbound. How much does it cost to get someone to the site? If the outbound goes too high, it's likely going to be unscalable. Like you're paying $5 to $10 per click
to get onto the website.
To get onto your website, what's your conversion rate have to be to convert?
That's true.
Them, right? And what's your AOV have to be at the back? So that's an important metric. Then the other metrics are like CPM does actually have context. Everything else is contextual. So you've got your CPMs, you've got your cost per share. And here's another thing, right? Some ads will have terrible ROAS, but they'll have really cheap cost per share. And where that's important is that Facebook can't take credit for a share ad conversion.
Yeah.
But maybe like you run this ad, you're spending more on it. It looks like it's performing at a 0.9, but it's driving all these shares, and the people who it's being shared to are actually the ones converting. But because it wasn't
not tracked.
but it's not tracked.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. Okay.
But then you turn that off, and then your whole account dies, and you're like,
what the fuck happened? It's like, well, I turned off a shit ROAS one, but there's no money coming in now. Okay, gotcha.
So the hardest part about our job and why I even have a job is because Facebook's always trying to fuck everyone.
Yes.
And my job is to understand that I have to spend money on the thing that looks like it's generating a shit return when in reality it's generating a better return.
Okay, how would you explain that to a founder who only has awareness about ROAS and they're just there shitting the bed? And I know that will tie back to like obviously how you want to train your founders and teach them.
Yeah.
But like a lot of founders out there, when they look at ads, they'll be like, ROAS is fucking 1.5, that's subpar, we're gonna cut the ad.
Yeah.
But you're obviously going, hey, trust the process. That 1.5 looks shit. But if you look at how many times it's shared, if you look at, you know, the CPC and all of that and the outbounds, it's actually driving customers in a different way. How do you help like owners understand that shit?
So you have to explain, first off, you have to get owners to understand Meta, its incentives, and the bidding strategies within Meta. And bidding strategy, all it is literally by default, Meta goes optimize for the cheapest amount of conversions.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, cheapest conversions at the highest volume.
Yeah.
That is Meta by default.
That's bit, yeah.
Right? Given that, what is Meta's incentive when your measurement is last 7-day click?
Mm-hmm.
It's to just take as much credit as possible. Whereas what we want is incremental gain.
Yeah.
So I don't just like tell them all this and go, hey, just trust me, bro. Like that doesn't work. Inside the ad account and inside Shopify specifically, if you have your UTM tracking code set up right, you will be able to see the first and last ad that people saw before they checked out.
Interesting. Okay.
And the ad you want to spend more on, like the one that they saw last gets all the credit.
Yeah.
The one that did the heavy lifting was typically the first ad they saw.
Interesting.
So you actually just have to manually go through and go as a ratio, which ads did people click on to get onto site first?
Okay.
And then find those, understand exactly why they work, and have the contextual knowledge to know that like this is a more top of funnel ad that still drives some ROAS, but it drives maybe a really cheap outbound cost per click, a really cheap add to cart, a really cheap initiate checkout, right?
Yeah.
But it's getting swooped. You know, the last touch point is getting swooped
By the other ad.
by your other ad, which is 10% off and free shipping.
Yeah.
Right.
I get you.
That's the extreme. But you know, imagine you're running 100 ads. That effect is trickling through your entire account.
Of course. That is a very complex process. No founder's ever going to do that.
Yeah.
Unless they're absolutely obsessed and in the ads themselves, they're not going to do that.
Totally.
How do you as an agency actually account for that? Do you have your own softwares in place for that? Or are you writing code to look at that? Or are you literally going to your team, hey, fucking pull up this data and we're going to match it? How does it work?
We literally match it.
Fuck, that's crazy. Bro, I'm just thinking about that from a position of man hours, from a position
It's crazy, right?
Bro, it's fucked. That's fucked.
Yeah. And that's why, you know, at our highest levels, we go into stuff like equity deals and like real high performance based deals because we have to, because the hours, I'm not willing to compromise on performance. Like my thing is like literally in the internal cadence of our team, it's every week, twice, can we spend more on the account?
Yeah.
If no, why?
Okay.
Twice a week.
Which is good, and I think that's definitely the right way to position it. And obviously, if you pitch it the right way, it's gonna land. Like if you go to a founder, hey, just give us like a 5%, like whether it's equity, profit share, whatever the fuck it is, like some sort of reward or even a bonus, whatever. However you structure that, if you go, hey, this is how our performance is gonna track, and this is what we want to achieve. If we can do that, whilst keeping you profitable, are you open to percentage of something?
Yeah,
right, whatever it is.
Exactly.
And that can be based on their business. If they don't want to do equity, they can do profit. If they don't want to do profit, maybe they can do bonus, whatever the fuck it is. Some sort of reward for the amount of extra effort and time and energy you put in. And I think that's very unique. And this is just me saying this from a perspective of, okay, we've worked with agencies. I run my own agency. I know the amount of work that goes into a client. Like sometimes our clients don't respect that we put so much work into them. We've literally had that before where I've had clients where they've want like 14 fucking revisions for a video, or like, you know, they pay us fucking the lowest amount of money and they want the most revisions and the most amount of work that's outside the scope. Like I get that. I want to keep my clients happy. For me, same thing as you. My objective is always, how do we deliver to a position where we are confident and comfortable with what we have achieved, but also at the same time, we don't want to be taken advantage of as well as an agency, right?
Exactly.
Because I can't just sit here and also justify, hey, we worked an extra 20 hours on your brand this week, so you got to pay us an extra $2,000. Like they're not, most brand owners are going to be like, what the fuck? No way. No way would I ever do that.
Exactly.
So I think that's really good that you guys are really objective driven for the clients. And I think that is a testament to obviously the clients that you can keep and maintain and, you know, how they grow. But let's kind of not switch gears, but I want to touch on your biggest client. How big would you say that is? Like what sort of revenue range were they in?
I'd say multi-8s online.
Multi-8s online, but they have an overall 9-figure business. Is that how big? Okay, so multi-8s online versus, let's just say my brand.
Yeah.
Very easy because, well, we can actually talk about it without NDAs or whatever, right? But my brand, right? We're in multi-7s. So from a multi-7s to get to a multi-8, you've had a basic look in my ad structure. And for full transparency's sake, Matt has not started working on our account, right? But we will probably get Matt to work on our account moving forward. So, cheeky glow, if you guys see that, it's probably Matt's job in the future. But from Matt's perspective on what he has looked at so far, and this is what fascinated me about bringing him onto this podcast episode as well, because I wanted to kind of see, where his head's at and what he's thinking as well. And I know that just from our preliminary conversations, he's switched on to a point where he understands what he's talking about. So our account, multi-7s, trying to go to multi-8s. What is the difference between the two accounts that you have seen that allows them to be at the multi-8s and then us to be stuck in our multi-7s? What is that gap that you're noticing?
I would bring it back to creative systems.
Okay.
You guys have really good online virality, PR. That side is down pat.
Yeah.
And I would say you have systems for that to consistently do it. And that's a lot of work. Shitloads. It's actually way harder than...
It's fucking hard.
It's hard. It's super hard. It's a never-ending grind.
It's the biggest part of our team. Yeah.
Exactly. And this is actually a classic in a lot of these where you have that situation. It's a bunch of, businesses... now virality, that's how they grew initially.
Yep.
And then they bring in paid ads and then they start spending and they're like, well, this is doing nothing.
This is exactly our situation.
Yeah.
So when we first went viral, we sold out. We got to our first $1 million and we did that in 9 months, right? So we got to $1 million in 9 months. But out of the 9 months, only 4 of those months were paid ad months.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So the first 5 months was all organic and we got up to almost 6 figures pretty much organically.
Yeah.
Or 6 figures a month organically.
Exactly.
And then when we introduced the paid ads, it was great. And then by month 6 of paid ads, we're like, why the fuck is the ROAS 1.2?
Exactly.
So exactly what Matt's saying is exactly the process we've gone through. We've obviously done much better since then. But yeah, we were also learning at that very beginning stage. Burnt so much money on our first 3 agencies. We moved to 3 agencies in 9 months. But yeah, we burnt a lot of money on agencies.
Totally.
Yeah.
And, as an agency, that's the easiest brand to work with.
Yeah.
Because it makes sales already.
Yeah.
You're just trying to...
We've already got a market demand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not relying on paid ads.
Yes.
So you can't F it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only upside.
And if you F it up, then
different story. But that's impressive. You know what I mean?
Yes,
if I run ads and somehow the sales tank,
Yeah.
when it came from organic, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But the main issue is that it's literally if I am a 9-figure founder myself or 8 figures, whatever it is, and I picture it when I wake up, the only thing I should care about outside of cash flow, ops, inventory, product design, all that kind of stuff. I would refine it down to 1 or 2 things, which is every week, which ads are driving revenue, how much and all those numbers, and then how are we going to iterate on that exact message.
Okay.
And it has to be crystal clear. This ad is working because of this. This concept is working because of this. As the founder of any business, I think the founder's job is to bring in revenue and to understand how that whole machine works. In a B2B business, it's managing a sales team, it's managing
how to
marketing.
get those wholesale deals, network.
Exactly.
All that. Yep.
Exactly. That's the founder's job. I think founders aren't clued in enough to exactly why their ads work. If I ask you right now, top 3 ads and why?
That's a wrong question for me.
Yeah. But you should still be across it.
Correct. Exactly.
Right?
And that's exactly what I told you when I started talking to you. I was like, this year coming, my job is to be obsessed with the numbers, obsessed with the ads, because I've handed it off to the girls and I'm like, all right, girls, time for me to step back in.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. The girls should be able to tell you. And if they're not, then they're not doing a good enough job. But now it's up to me as well, taking responsibility for that.
Or they're not getting enough information.
Yeah, correct.
And the analogy I like to use is a lot of e-com businesses are like Jenga towers with one, whenever I play Jenga,
one brick at the bottom.
I love taking out the bricks at the bottom because it kind of
fucks
speeds up
someone else later.
fucks everyone else up, right? But a lot of businesses are like that. They're one Jenga block on the bottom.
Yeah.
And that one Jenga block is a fatigued ad, begging for dear life to be iterated on. It's literally 2 or 3 ads holding the whole business up.
Yeah.
And if that ad turned off or got rejected or something,
GG.
you're done.
Yeah.
Right? You're done. It could be a 3 to 5 mil business
Yeah.
off that one ad.
Correct.
And And it's just like founders get caught up in so much noise and Andromeda and this and blah, blah, blah.
All these different directions.
all these
agencies
different
pitching them every fucking day as well. I'm your Google account manager. I'm your Meta manager. Like it's every day. We just had Pinterest call us yesterday.
Literally.
Do you want to switch on your Pinterest ad account again?
Yeah. Oh, dude, Pinterest is super dodgy, by the way. Do they hit you with the, hey man, do you want to see all your competitors and what they're spending? And
Not yet. Dude, but she was like, you haven't spent for a while. Do you want to come back on?
Trust me. Like even a little hint at that, they will just like open the gates. This competitor, that competitor.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well,
Anyway.
there we go. We can play Pinterest later on.
But if you were just aware of it and you actually saw it and you're like, all my revenue's coming from these 3 videos.
Yeah.
What do you think you would do?
But I'd make more.
Yeah, literally.
Straight away. 100%.
Straight away.
It's too much risk for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not only that, how excited would you, like if I literally went, hey man, these are the things, this is the only bottleneck you have outside of all your other operational stuff. Obviously there's website, CRM, bundling, there's all that stuff. But out of that, in your ad account where you're spending all of your money, right? You just have to focus on that.
Correct.
That is where still in Australia, the founders are just not across that. And even with the coaching groups everywhere else, that requires a lot of context. Like that's the reason I have a business, that I'm confident where like, oh, what if we go in-house? What if we do this? What if we do that?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. Like if someone hired one of my staff and then did this in 6 months, they don't have that relentless focus on the highest leverage.
The ecosystem for you,
Yeah. To be able to drive, like how do you double Cheeky Glow right now? If you just focus on that and then focus on how you can spend more at the right numbers, that's literally it.
Yeah.
Right. But you've been focusing on like all of the creatives in there and like trying random things. But if you break down exactly why you went viral and then how to condense that into an ad format that converts at the right cost, that is all you need to do. And then it's not just once, it's every day and every week.
Yeah.
That amount of obsession over this thing. And it's our job, I believe at least, to feed you that. Yeah. And not only to feed you, hey, this is exactly what's working.
And to inform us what decisions we should be looking at.
These are the 10 different ways we've seen that are the most logical ways you should go about iterating it. So, and then just go do it.
Yeah.
And then we'll let you know next week what out of that test, what the next go is.
I think that's so powerful because a lot of people don't realize how important data is. And I think a lot of female founders actually get stuck at this because most female founders that I know are not very good with the numbers. And that's nothing to do with them being female or male. It's just they don't really care about the numbers in most situations. They care about the vision of the brand, how to grow it. And that's the female founder's special power, is they're really good at putting together these brand images and how these brands look. But when it comes to the numbers side, they're often quite weak. Whereas on the other flip side of that, I'm obsessed with the numbers. Like if you look at my spreadsheets, it's literally fucking 4,000 cells long, right? Like, I'm in the spreadsheets, operations, fulfillment. Like I'm trying to find the cost savings in the sense from like Post and fucking just whatever it is, right? And then so as a founder, there's a lot of things, like a lot of hats we have to wear. And for me to go and sit here and go, fuck, I now need to wear the hat of the ads guy too, would completely fuck my life up.
Yeah.
And that's why I think having the right marketing team is so important. And whether that's in-house or out of house for you, for most people, it's knowing that your team is actually capable. Like for you to say, hey, we actually tell our team, every day to fucking look at the data, send you the numbers, send you this and be like, hey, these are the winners, reiterate on that. And then up to me to go, hey, to my team, can you guys go and go 10 versions of this and let me teach you, bang, 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 bang. I think that's so much more powerful than me sitting here and going, hey, every month I'm talking to my agency and they're giving me an update. Like that's too slow. I think you mentioned that before as well. You can't be reiterating on your data on a fortnightly or a monthly basis. It literally has to be daily, at the latest weekly, right? So I think that's very, very powerful stuff, especially with creative and how fast things fatigue and the amount of money you spend. And like, for example, with us as Cheeky Glow, we're aiming to be an 8-figure business within the next, 6 to 12 months. I absolutely think we can get there. But just focusing on ads and spending all my time on ads will take away from me as a founder that needs to also focus on product. I need to get better product. I need to get better product to market fit. I need to get better innovations for my business to grow the business from a product perspective so that my marketing team have more angles, more things to even talk about, more chances for success. I think like you were saying, and for a lot of founders and owners out there who are probably still trying to find their feet, if you want to be successful in e-commerce, one product can make you $1 million. One winning product will make you $1 million, hands down.
Even more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One winning product plus a winning ad set, or winning ad sets and winning ads, you could probably do 5 to 10 million just from one product. Imagine if you had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Man, in America as well. You can
insane.
Yeah. Who's that guy? He sells wallets. I love his tweets.
Oh, is that the Ridge wallet?
The
one that you click out and it just pops out?
9 figs.
Yeah. Insane.
Wallets, different colors.
Yeah.
Dude, unreal. Unreal, right? In America.
Yeah. I don't think that will pop off here though.
Yeah, but like that's another thing, right?
Yeah.
It's the market. It's how you go about it. You know, Australia is actually known as a skeptical test market.
It is.
Test products here, then ship them out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
literally.
if you win Australia, you can win the world. Essentially, is how it works.
To an extent.
Wow, that's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think Australia definitely is behind. Like coming back from China, you just see like Australia Stone Ages, bro.
Yeah.
Like China is fucking so advanced. Scale is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. It's that sort of permeates a lot of like the agency stuff. And
Yeah.
I actually think, you know, at a larger lens, it actually goes to how the country's structured and how
Yeah.
the country's run. And we can get into all that kind of stuff. But like at the end of the day, I don't think it's that business friendly.
Yeah.
And as a result, the best talent just leaves.
Yeah.
Right. Or goes
there's,
global.
there's that big news article that came out this week with the millionaire exodus, right?
Yeah.
Like all the millionaires are now leaving, going to Bali, going to Dubai, going to fucking overseas Singapore, Hong Kong. Why? It's because we get taxed out of our asshole here. It's so expensive to hire staff. Everyone's got all these fucking rights and like all of these sort of guidelines and parameters, and it makes a business owner just struggle. Like, what the fuck is what is it? Tax that you pay on salary.
Yeah, payroll
Like
tax.
payroll tax.
Classic,
Like what the
yeah.
fuck is payroll tax? Like you're telling me I pay my staff's taxes and then you're making me pay taxes on top of taxes so that I can hire more people and keep the economy growing. So what the fuck is the point of me trying to be a business owner making millions?
I think the
Keep
saddest
nothing.
part is I'm actually going to go global as well.
Yeah.
But the reason actually is, and this is going to sound funny, the only way to have the best talent in Australia
Yeah.
is to have the best culture where they can do and be unrestricted, no red tape. Like people hate red tape
Yeah.
intrinsically. Like you don't want to wake up. Doesn't matter how much you get paid. Wake up and have red tape, and you want to do cool stuff.
Yeah.
But you also want upside, and you want to make a bunch of money. And the only way to pay people in Australia really high salaries is either to have a business model that is like extremely leveraged, like a info product or some
Yeah.
sort of coaching course or something like that.
Super high, 90%
Right.
margins.
Exactly. But like my take on that is it's that type of business, and it's sort of a 50-50 in my eyes. It's not like it's a different type of business. Whereas the other way is go global and have such a high TAM. Like for us, having more US clients
Yeah.
will allow me to pay my team more as we grow than anyone else
Getting
in
US dollars
Australia.
as well,
Right?
yeah.
Getting US dollars in, getting much larger, and like just giving my team more leverage. And I see
Yeah.
that actually as my number one job is making sure that I can actually support the career growth of my team here. Whereas I think there's a lot of stagnation in careers in Australia as well.
I agree.
Like,
I mean, yeah, it's very, very hard. Like in Australia, everyone demands such a high salary at such a low skill like level. Whereas you go to Asia, man, like the salary that they demand is obviously not that high because living expenses are much lower there. But their skill level is fucking crazy.
I'll add
Crazy.
another level to this as
Yeah.
well. I think the other nuance is that the killers probably don't get rewarded as much as they should as well. Like if you're a lawyer in Australia,
Yeah.
you're making, maybe the same as someone who's in FIFO, mining
Yeah.
construction. Whereas in America, you're making millions.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that lack of incentive also kills it a bit. And the reason for that lack of incentive is also the way we're taxed and government structures and everything else, and also
Yeah.
the size of the market. So I also do believe that some of the most cracked people are in Australia.
Oh, I agree. Because
Right,
if they
they're crazy.
survive here, they will survive anywhere. Like,
Literally.
yeah, it's fucking
yeah.
ridiculously difficult. And I was having this discussion the other day as well with 9-figure founders. And the conversation is literally around this, which is all the best talent. Imagine if we could just sit down and bring all the best talent together and we just do a project together. The reality is that's probably not going to be very possible, right? Because most of the best founders, most of the best entrepreneurs, most of the best people or skilled people, like they're already doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Whereas overseas, there's a lot more collaboration, I think, in that sense. You see that a lot more. I'm seeing that now in Australia a little bit, like some of the billionaire
Starting,
boys, they're starting to bring together a couple of their friends and doing big projects together. But again, it's still like a billionaires boys club. And for us as Asians, that doesn't really exist as well. I don't think I've seen that much in Australia. There's not many like small, tight-knit Asian entrepreneur communities. I think for the Aussies, they're fucking definitely starting to do that now. Like you look at your Simon Beards, you look at your, Adrian Portellis and their posse and their groups. You can see two very distinct groups that are kind of forming. And then Davies group as well, that's kind of forming, like in the e-com circles, Jay Wright's group kind of forming. Like there's little pods coming up. I think the Asians is definitely well underrepresented. But
Let's change it, man.
I know for sure.
Yeah.
We definitely need to.
Yeah.
But Australia is just so small, man. It's just so small.
Australia's small. I think as soon as but what I will say is, and like my team are, like, I'm insanely grateful to them.
Yeah.
Like I think that although Australia is small, the guys who really crush it here, like I think they all go global at some point or have some sort, like obviously some of the guys you mentioned here just went super deep into retail and stuff. I think the next opportunity for Australian businesses and the staff and everyone here is actually exploring these export markets. Like all of our brands, we are always asking the question like, when's the US happening? You know, or when's Canada happening? Or when's Dubai happening? Or when is, you know, South America happening? Well, like where all of these other markets are just ready to go.
Yeah.
And some of them are easier and have a better return on spend than Australia.
Absolutely.
Right. And as soon as you crack that and your business can 10x, you know, and with currency exchanges and everything else, you can actually beat, you know, salaries, you can beat comp here, you can actually pay people outrageous stuff here.
Yes, correct.
I really hope that the government fixes their whole like taxation system.
Which I don't think they ever will.
Because, yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I think that's definitely one thing that really puts people off. Like I have a friend of mine, I have a couple of friends, they're all on 400-500K a year salaries, right?
Yeah.
These guys are like the creme de la creme. They're the best in their companies, right? They're doing amazing. They get $1 million bonuses, fucking
Crazy.
big five finance boys. But then they go, oh, but I only save 80K a year. I only save 50K a year.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
crazy.
How? Like how? Like you make $500,000 a year, but then they go, yeah, after taxes, like 260.
Yeah.
Or like 270 or whatever. And then you've got to pay rent. And then, I might have an investment property or here and there. And then, I mean, they're still doing fucking fantastic. Don't get me wrong. They're doing great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But like imagine going, I make $500,000 and I keep 50. Right.
Yeah,
Whereas in
50%.
Dubai, you make $500,000, you're keeping 200-300K even after you buy your LV bags for the year.
I think you keep even more.
Yeah.
I think you keep 500 if you make 500. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you definitely, there's no tax there, but like, you know, there's savings, all of that sort of stuff. It's just incredible, man. Like, it's just crazy. And that's why a lot of Aussies obviously live in Bali nowadays. They're all buying up all the land in Bali, doing all the villas and all that sort of bullshit. And Hong Kong, Singapore as well, tax havens. A lot of friends are now setting up in BVI as well, going offshore for their taxes. Like, Australia is just, I think there's a lot of talent. Honestly, there is talent in Australia.
There's some serious talent here.
Serious talent.
People here have common sense. That's one thing I love about Australia. The people here are witty enough to understand what makes sense.
Yes, correct.
I just think people
That's the bullshit meter, right?
Yeah,
like
the bullshit meter here is
crazy,
off the charts.
Crazy.
Right? It's
insane.
great. But I just think, it's the market's small and skeptical, and the way the government's structured is, you know, it benefits all the big conglomerates to come in and do all their stuff.
100%. And then, like, I think it's actually extremely difficult for a small business to become successful in Australia.
Yeah.
To crack out of the $5 million revenue range in Australia is like, you know that if you have a $10 million business here, you're not part of the big boys yet, but like you're doing pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in Australia, like, I just definitely think it's not set up for the talent to want to stay. Like, I don't want to stay and lose 70% of my fucking money that I worked the whole year for, busting my balls for, you know, put all these risks, didn't spend time with family to keep 70%. Like, it's just hard. There's definitely serious talent that the talent will leave because of one tall poppy syndrome. Everyone's bullshit meter is so high that they think everything's bullshit. So it makes collaboration a lot harder from that sense. But then taxes, like no one wants to get smashed by these taxes, which then the Australian government goes and pays fucking $96 million to build a dog shit bomb website. That
was crazy. That was seriously insane.
Which you can then AI generate a fucking website just like that in fucking 30 minutes.
Yeah, even when I worked at the NDIS, man, people don't even know like how bad it goes. Like, let me share some stats. I think when I was working there, it was like 440,000 people.
Yeah.
On an average annual, I believe, plan of like over $80,000.
Oh fuck! What's that?
440,000. What percentage of our that's back
400?
then?
Yeah, 400.
It's way worse.
Is that 5% of our population? My maths is right. Let's see.
Something
no, my
like
maths is definitely wrong. 440,000 people. Yeah, whatever. Or 0.8% of the population. Yeah.
And it's even more. It's like 2 to 3% of our GDP. All of our money.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
GDP, not even tax, is like crazy stuff, right? And they're tightening up on it now.
It's too late, bro. All the Lebos have Lambos.
I think like 0 to Lambo, the fastest way is NDIS. I know some guys, I'm like, dude, what?
It's actually fucking cooked, bro.
It's wild. And that's where everyone's taxes is going, right? Yeah. And I worked there and I saw the back end. I'll tell you a story. We wanted, here's a feature, because we're taking a bit of a dive back into that world, right? We, in my team, we wanted a feature where we're just like, just tell us who you're giving the money to.
Yeah.
Like how it works with the NDIS is if you're on a self-managed plan, they just put money in your bank account and you spend it.
Yeah.
Right? That is literally how it works. And it's
That's
all on
fucked.
an argument basis.
Oh, that's
so
fucked.
then you go to a doctor,
Yeah.
a psychiatrist, whatever, and the better one you get to, they'll get you more money from the government.
Yeah.
Right? So two people, the famous case, two people, twins, one of them got like 80K, one of them got like 200, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Twins, same problem because they had different representation.
What the fuck?
But once you get the money in your account, you spend it. We wanted one feature. Just tell us what you're spending it on.
Yeah. Denied.
They have these networks
Uh-huh.
of people who will like go straight up to the CEO. It's like this whole political thing. I don't want to get too far into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But there's this whole network, and the whole way that company's structured is it is structured in a way where it's just getting absolutely rotted in the craziest way possible. And the sad thing is, came out with good intentions. The people who need the care the most are not getting it,
Of course.
right? Because they don't have good representation.
Yeah.
Whereas the people rotting it are like just milking it dry.
Yeah.
And it's wild.
It's fucked. That's all our taxpayer money as well.
That's our taxpayer
like
money.
I wouldn't mind paying taxes if I didn't have potholes down the road. I wouldn't mind paying taxes if fucking things were actually getting done. And the government's not spending fucking 13 mil on a fucking machete bin or whatever the fuck it is.
I'm
Victoria.
I'm more than fine paying taxes. You know, that's a whatever statement, but it's just like the way they've set it up is it's like there's so many instances of like that NDIS situation. And I think we have like some of the highest taxes in the world.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We definitely do. We definitely have some of the highest
As a
taxes in the world.
percentage,
I don't know if it's the highest. I don't think it is, but
Not the highest, but it's getting up there.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of taxes, which if it was used for the right thing, I don't want my money to go to some fucking junkie who's just going to shoot up ice in the alley. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be paying for that shit. And I'm like, we pay so many taxes every year. Like, my tax bill is multi six figures. And it's like, why the fuck am I paying this? And there's a pothole that's going to fuck up the front lip of my car as I'm going over it. And why is it like going into a fucking website that looks shitter than when it was built in 1990? I much prefer that version.
Yeah.
Like, why is it going to a fucking green rubbish bin under a floodlight so that a fucking young Eshe can go and chuck a machete in there and then get caught out for it? Like, what the fuck? You know, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, a lot of it.
The corruption is just fucked, man. Like, we're just getting robbed dry in daylight. And a lot of people don't realize that. And that's the fucked part about Australia. I love the place, love Australia, love this great country. But yeah, I think this tax system, and I think a lot of the successful people have been saying on social media loudly and proudly recently, is there definitely needs to be some changes to the tax system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like, I think Victoria's like insolvent or something. I don't know how this exactly works, but somehow we've got no money and we are in massive debt. What is it, like 20 mil a day of just interest?
That's fucked. Yeah, that's fucked.
Which is wild. What?
Yeah, it's like, what did the government do to this, like, to get to this stage?
Yeah,
you know,
crazy.
like that money is just so mismanaged, and it's just such an issue. And they keep introducing new taxes. Like, they wanted to tax people who have an empty bedroom. Like, how the fuck does that work? I own my property. Why the fuck are you taxing?
It's crazy.
It's just insane.
Man, they're going after, like, they're doing real gut punches as well. I think they're going after people who work from home as well.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, it's crazy. They're going after people who work from home and are claiming their work from home gear and like auditing them. Yeah. It's like, man, let the person, like, dude.
And guess what? Who told them to work from home? The government told all the businesses to tell all these people to fucking work from home during COVID, and they kept them there.
Exactly.
And then now they're going, tax money, motherfuckers.
Yeah, literally.
And you got a pencil? Show me the receipt.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, there's like stuff like that. It's just getting like pretty outrageous.
It's fucking nuts. Yeah. It's pretty bad. Like, I mean, we definitely,
so people who pay the highest taxes are the hardest working people in Australia.
100%.
That's
the middle
other
class,
thing.
right?
That's the thing that I think makes the least sense. Like, they just, and the whole superannuation thing that came in and like everything else.
Yeah.
Like, what people don't understand with the way inflation's going and with the way, like, everyone today who's like our age is going to have that balance in the future. Everyone. If they don't like take it out some other way. Right?
Yeah. And it's just going to be really cooked for us. Like, in our age, we can't afford property unless you're making very decent coin, like 300K plus, 250K plus. Can't afford property. There's no benefits for us. Super high taxes because we're now at 250K or 300K. And it's like, bro, we're just getting squeezed on every end of the fucking spectrum. It's like you expect that you're making decent money, you can have a decent life. But in Australia, it's like you get squeezed so dry that it's either you just stay poor, you get benefits for staying poor, or if you can't break out of that middle class to get into fucking premium, like you're talking $500K $1 million a year profit or salary or more, you're fucked. Like you're just gonna be stuck constantly getting fucked from both sides. You're getting you're getting spit roasted from both sides, bro. It's just cooked. It's just fucking cooked, bro.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why we have to expand out to America and expand to these bigger markets.
Yeah.
Because if we want to pay our top talent more, which I always want to do, that's how you retain people, right?
Of course.
That's the biggest thing.
I'd love to pay people more.
The market
as long as
support it.
Yeah. If the market can return, then absolutely.
Exactly. And I want that upside to be unlimited.
Yeah.
And if you can't, like Australia is built in a way where literally, like if you pay someone, $500K, they're going to get taxed on that. Well, guess what? They're going to try to like set up all these other structures to reduce that tax rate as well. Even for like top performers, and it's not that we're trying to evade taxes. It's just like, should I pay you as a staff member or a contractor?
Yeah, correct.
Right? Like what makes more sense in the way that this is all set up?
Correct.
But super, super interesting. I think there's going to be a lot more discourse around it.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so, because like it's just not working, man. Like talent that is smart, that gets to a certain level, can think.
Yeah.
Like obviously they can use their brain, and mathematics doesn't lie. So all you need to do is figure out how much does it cost me to set up internationally. What do I need to do to make it credible? And then how can I move everything over there versus how much I save from me being here? Like if you do the numbers, it's pretty straightforward what you need to be doing. Like no one wants to be working fucking 12, 14-hour days to make $500,000 a year just to lose half of it. Like no one wants to do. Who the fuck wants to do that? Like in their right minds, it just doesn't make sense.
Crazy.
And then for it to be spent on the most dumbest shit. Like who the fuck thinks to spend $100 million on a fucking website?
Yeah, it's wild, man.
That to me is just absolutely cooked. But yeah, going away from ads on that conversation, full discourse or full divergence into another topic, full side note. But yeah, going back to like obviously international expansion, USA is a fucking huge market, and they are actually okay with paying high retainers over there. In Australia, I feel like the mindset here is people want to pay the lowest to get the most. In America, it's like they'll pay value.
Absolutely.
Especially in the marketing agency world. Have you seen that as well?
1,000,001%.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Everyone here, it's a really interesting one. It's always this chat about, oh man, like you charge us more in-house here. And like, this is like a lot of our clients.
Yeah.
And when I break this down, it actually gets real interesting because I don't think founders understand the cost of that.
Yeah.
And the time and effort and accountability and business outcomes of that whole thing.
Yeah.
So I think only a very select people can do it at a way that costs less. But I think the problem is that the worst agencies are the best at marketing. Right? I think that's the other. So I get it from both sides. Like if I was a brand owner and I was like, oh, I'm on my 4th agency now and I've been burnt and everything sucks. I'm like, screw all this. I don't trust any of you guys anymore. I totally get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest problem. Whereas in America, it's like, I need to make sure you're making money. Yeah. Otherwise you're not going to work. Whereas in Australia, it's like, I want you to do everything for $0. So you might make money later.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And the only problem with that is that you shoot yourself in the foot. It's like you want a partner who makes 0. Right. What do you think is going to happen there? It's like they've got a family and kids and everything. Do you think that's going to make sense? Yeah. Whereas in America, it's like, if I'm going to eat, we should all eat, and then we should all eat as much as possible and see what we can do. Yeah. Which is really refreshing, and it allows you to, by charging the highest retainers, I can then hire the best teams and give them the best tools possible. And
you can resource them the most accurately. I can
resource them, right? Yeah. And we redo that now here, right? Because we don't sign anyone on for like, $1,000, $2,000, whatever. Like we can't do any of that. It won't make any sense, because then how much does one account manager need? Yeah. Right. Whereas
what's your, if you don't mind sharing for everyone, what is your lowest retainer? I remember seeing it. I haven't finished signing my contract yet, but what's the lowest retainer?
So now we won't take anyone on who's under like $4,500 a month.
There you go. Yeah.
But that's still low. Just so you know, this sucks.
Yeah.
Because think about how much a person needs to, and we don't actually enjoy these deals either.
Yeah.
Think about how much you need to pay a good person, right? Like around 6 figures.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
And think about the support that person needs to actually run this account, because we don't just have one person on every account. Every account is actually oversighted by at least 2 or 3 people as well in the background. Like one person doesn't have the entire contextual knowledge to do everything in that situation.
Yeah.
We've got a team, right? And then there's overheads. And to the tech thing earlier, like I say we do it manually. We've got every subscription under the sun.
Yeah.
You know, I spend like
On
Man,
SaaS.
on SaaS, I probably spend like 5 to 10K a month.
Fuck.
On
Bro, I
just-
thought I was spending a lot already, like at 2 to 3. You fucking
It's-
spend like 5 to 10.
Yeah, literally, because we got agency accounts, and then we got like, you know, all of our
Management
accounts.
software, third-party software.
Yeah, and they
fuck.
charge you per account or per ad spend or whatever else,
yeah.
right?
And it scales up for like,
Yeah.
oh, now you hit 5,000 orders, 10,000. For us,
Yeah,
it
exactly,
becomes
right?
5,000, 10,000, 20,000
I know.
orders. And it scales up by not a little bit. It's like, it jumps from like 200 a month to like fucking 600 a month, you know?
And then and then like 800, like then like some software's like $2,000 a month. And you're
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
What?
And it's
What?
like, oh, sorry, we built in USD. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, literally. And then you get billed the USD at a shitty conversion rate,
And then you get a
the
forex
international
yeah,
forex
you
fee,
get the,
right?
yeah, you get that 3% from Amex on
Yeah,
top. Fucking
dude,
pumps you.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
It hurts.
It hurts.
It
It hurts.
does hurt. It
But
does
yeah, that's sort of the levels, right? And into next year, like our target is, I'm looking more and more into this because at the levels that we're at, I look at a lot of different business models and we're building in-house our own tech as well.
Yeah.
Right. Because I need pretty much the whole thing around that is how do I keep the best talent on board in an agency?
Yeah.
How do I stop clients from just
Poaching them.
poaching my team? And they can poach them, it's like whatever, right? Even though a bit of a
It's
dog
fucking
move.
annoying. Yeah.
It's annoying, but like whatever. They can try to do that. How do I play this game?
Yeah.
Well, I've got like 3 options. One, start an e-com brand and smoke them. But I'm not a bad guy, so I don't do that. Right?
Yeah.
But I could,
You could.
right?
Yeah,
With everything I know, like
Absolutely.
I could.
Absolutely.
Number 2 is, you know, just get out of agency and just run all of our in-house brands. Just go to China, literally
Yeah.
go to the fairs. This is a product. I'll literally go there and see the product, film an ad on the day, boom, run
And
a
then
test.
run a
I
test,
could just become an e-com group, right?
Yeah.
I love e-com. I don't love the back end fulfillment, logistics, all that kind of stuff as much.
That's something that I love. That's
Yeah.
like my passion. I enjoy really like finding the right product. How do I piece it together? How do I get it out? I love that shit.
Yeah, whereas I get a dopamine hit when I
From
hit
the
a
ads.
winning ad.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
we literally 5x, you know, $100 to $500, 500 to like $2,000 a day.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like verticals. Like that's what gets me.
Yeah.
Right.
I get excited when I see new tech and I'm like, how the fuck can I get this to market? So it's
Yeah.
very, very different what turns you on in the e-com / business world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's not what I want to do. But like where's the trend of everything going? Like with AI,
Yeah.
the biggest media groups just merged and then laid off 4,000 people.
Yeah.
Like why,
Yeah.
right? What can they see? What do they know? And it's because in a lot of these big agencies and around a lot of the world, the labor is actually not doing a job that has a big meaningful impact. That's how I see it, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And like me too, when I was designing this app in government, I'm like, this is so inefficient.
Yeah.
There's no way this is sustainable. So where I think it's going to go is that the best talent will really rise and really shine. And like my job is to incubate that talent. But then how do I give these guys unlimited upside? It's through leveraging our findings and all this kind of stuff through tech. So like we're coming out with mobile apps for B2B and things
Okay.
like that
Interesting.
for business owners in this space to give them an extra edge.
So what do you mean by mobile apps and B2B? Like what, to help them get more deals or like to work with each other, to collab?
To
like
make better
what?
ads and to go viral.
Ah, okay. I
Yeah.
get you.
Because there's a system and a process and a formula around this.
Yeah.
But also like in-house in terms of analyzing ad accounts,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, I get you.
So all of these tools and all these things, there's a lot of noise out there because the tools that sell the best are the ones with the best sales teams.
Of course.
Like there are so many B2B softwares,
Yeah.
like e-com softwares that literally make your sales worse when you implement them and they're $2-3
and
grand a month.
it's like
Right?
actually cooked because you're trying to figure it out, like what's good and what's not. You have to cut through the noise.
Yeah.
Only way to cut through the noise is to test it, and then
And that it can cook you.
yeah.
It can
And
literally-
sometimes the margin, or like the difference, is so minuscule you don't even notice it as well. So it's like, fuck, bro, is it even worth it? So yeah, I got what you mean.
even worse, it can break you.
It can break you, yeah.
Right? It
correct.
can break your site and then you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? You spent $2 grand on this thing and it
You just fucked it.
ruined it.
Yeah.
So we're building really like straightforward, simple. Like I said before, that philosophy of like, if I woke up and I was a founder, what would I do?
Yeah.
Just apps that are focused specifically in this space that help founders wake up and increase their leverage on their time. Because as a founder, you know why people buy your stuff.
Yeah, correct.
But with a bit of prompting and a bit of like interviewing, I can pull out more insights that can then be shaped into ads.
Yeah.
Right. Or I can pull out more ideas that might be the next narrative for the brand. Right. But if we can package that into something and use AI the right way, which like people use it for like the whole end to end, it doesn't work.
Correct.
But just for very small things to assemble certain ideas. So like get a database for the winning ads or the formats. How do we assemble a winning ad?
And then grade them, tier them up.
Right. Very simple stuff.
Yeah.
And then how do we package that into something useful for the everyday business owner?
Interesting. So it's kind of, if I were to break it down, what are some big platforms that are doing some interesting stuff? So Opus Clip takes your long form, cuts it into short form, and then rates it on virality score, which I don't know how accurate that is. It's like that, but for ads combined with like an analytics.
Even more. Like ideally, we want to track every single brand on Facebook ad library.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow.
And then analyze their entire marketing ecosystem and get an idea of how it's changing month on month.
Wow.
Or we might take the top 10% of ad libraries, right?
Yeah. Very
and so stuff like that, because there are APIs that exist where you can just
bring it in,
pull all that data out, right? Once I have that, like, you know, the multiple on that, and like that's how I'm thinking about using tech and AI to leverage these platforms. Like I've used all the AI ad generators before as well.
Yeah.
Right, but like, man,
how did they go for you?
I don't want to name any names, but like the problem they're trying to fundamentally solve is super hard.
Yeah.
Right. And I just don't think AI is in its current form is do it for the mass market. I think if you target certain parts of the market that don't care about brand as much or whatever else,
like
I think
the
you'll
full
nail
hardcore, like hectic, emotional, like instinctual, like drop shipping kind of like like full. Yeah.
That specific niche is great for AI ads, but a lot of other people are just
like trying to build a brand.
Trying to build a brand is hard. You still need a person somewhere in the mix,
like a creative person, really to guide that angle. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Like I think definitely building a software for that for ads is going to be a very, very powerful thing moving forwards. And if you can actually do it right, then fuck, bro, you can really, really move the needle on a lot of things with that.
Exactly,
it'll be very, very powerful.
Yeah, because in the future, I don't really see us as just an agency.
Yeah.
And I don't think any agency is going to be just an agency.
Because it's too competitive.
It's too competitive. It's not quite right. And it's like, what's a typical agency? Like, what's a real middle of the curve agency right now? It's a guy who's just like runs sales super hard and runs marketing of the agency super hard. And then like delivery is like, just like offshore, just like get it and then retain them for as long as possible. That's like the typical stack.
Correct. Yeah.
Whereas I think the reverse stack of that is like, how do we partner with the best clients, charge the highest, like not the highest, but like good retainers.
Yeah,
but
fair
retainers, and then pay our people all above market and then give them an upside of like, because you're, the best at this, or we've trained you to be the best at this, you can have an upside of this, tech opportunity that we're integrating into this.
So are you looking at offering them equity into the tech app, or?
We're exploring exactly how do we comp it? Is it like, how's it structured? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That is a thing like for the whole team that I'm looking at, because I think it's really important.
Yeah.
And I think it's the future as well. Like SaaS platforms are becoming more and more like agencies.
Yeah.
Because AI can vibe code any SaaS product now.
That's true.
Right. So they're getting
So you can cut 90% of your tech team to just fucking, fix up the vibe coding. That's
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Just fix up one guy, fix up the vibe coding on all these things.
Which is fucking crazy, bro. All these 16-year-olds doing that shit is insane.
Exactly. And then on the other side, you've got agencies who are just like stuck in the past.
Yeah.
What's the software guys going into the middle?
Yeah.
Agency guys got to go into software.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah. Like we use the latest tools, and like this is a blanket statement. I just don't think they're as good as they should be.
I agree. I've tried fucking so many tools, and none of them just do everything that a founder wants them to do.
Exactly.
And same thing, I want to build my own fulfillment softwares, right?
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things that I actually put up a post about it the other day. Like I really want to look at building my own tech stack for my own business. Obviously, if it goes good, start to move it into general market. But yeah, I think there's a massive gap in fulfillment as well, and also like logistics within a business. which is all probably the shit that you hate. But yeah, for me, it's like, how do I optimize that we can have highest accuracy rates, faster packing, better inventory tracking? How do I integrate that with our forecasting? And then how do we then utilize that data also for ads, right? What products are selling through the best? And then
Exactly.
Yeah, like having that sort of ecosystem would be really, really cool. And I think a lot of founders would really love one software instead of fucking 14 different SaaS softwares to really track every metric in their business to really help them make decisions. I think that would be a massive project, but also a multi-billion dollar opportunity. So
I agree.
It'd be very, very interesting. Just need the best players in that space to bring all of their fucking
It's also very hard.
hatreds. Yeah.
Because it's every...
And everyone wants the opportunity for themselves too, which is the hard part. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Yeah.
I think a lot of people are trying to do it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like big tech, the reason I think it's going to be hard
Yeah.
is because everyone's incentive is opposed.
Yeah.
Like Shopify and Meta are like, they're partners,
Yeah.
but Meta's always trying to kill Shopify.
Yeah.
You know, it's Facebook
Yeah.
shops.
Yeah.
TikTok
Facebook shop,
shops.
Instagram shop, TikTok
Right?
shop. Yeah.
And then Shopify's gone the other way and gone, hey Meta, like they released this thing.
Yeah.
Hey Meta, 30% of your traffic, spot traffic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like Shopify analytics for merchants, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like they're fighting.
They fight.
So
I think if you look at China, you'll see it best because China on every single app has their own sales app, live streaming app, and their own social media app. Every single platform. Taobao has their own. Little Red Book has their own. Meituan has their own. All of these apps in China, they all have literally the same tabs at the bottom. Videos, live stream, buy now, whatever. Every single app has the same infrastructure. That's how they do it. They just constantly clashing, trying to absorb market share from each other, from a billion people. So interesting. All right. Well, before we wrap up today, I want to quickly touch on just one more thing from an advertising side of things, which is we talk primarily about Meta, but then there's still Google and TikTok, which are two other big platforms that a lot of people use. What are the differences there? Like, and in terms of like Google and TikTok, are they as complicated as that Meta ecosystem for you guys?
they're more complicated.
More complicated.
More complicated.
Okay. Why so? I would have thought Google was a lot easier.
Nah.
TikTok is a bit retarded right now, so I don't know.
So TikTok's been getting a lot better,
Okay.
and to the point where for some clients it'll be on par with Meta.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I think people don't understand how to use TikTok properly in
Yep.
terms of the ads that go there and how they should spend and when they should spend.
Okay.
But here's like a classic. By default, TikTok has this thing called Pangle enabled,
Okay.
which is a Chinese bot farm.
Okay.
And when you run a campaign with that, your impressions, cost per click, and everything is going to be so good that you think you're a
killing
genius.
it. Yeah.
But like it's all going to Pangle.
Interesting.
So turn Pangle off. Manual placements, turn it off.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's like a huge catchment of just like everyone's going to be cooked.
Yeah.
Right.
Superficial visual data that is literally
Yeah.
useless.
I spoke to our rep. We're actually believe this or not, right? We're actually the biggest TikTok spender.
Oh, really?
Independent agencies.
Okay.
Yeah. We got invited to a thing. Who was not part
What
of
the
that.
fuck? That's crazy.
Random, right?
Yeah, that's so
But
random.
it's because Australia's so small.
Wow.
And we've got some US accounts in there, right?
Oh, wow.
But they're still based in Australia. So there's that.
Yeah.
So we're the biggest.
Wow.
How funny is that?
That's insane.
Random, right?
What the fuck? That's so insane.
So we know a bit about TikTok, and then Google's a really interesting one.
Okay.
Brands just don't know how to do Google.
Okay, interesting. Tell me why. I thought most brands would be doing Google quite well.
Nah.
Okay.
Look, 99% of brands are cooking it.
Okay.
So bad.
What's the biggest like
Okay.
part?
People throw Google in the corner like a naughty child.
Yeah. I love Google though. Google gives me my best returns.
Yeah.
I fucking love Google.
But it's lying to you as well, right?
Oh, okay. All right.
Because they don't know how to write. Like,
Right, okay.
so Google's great because there's literally like exfoliating skin how to, right?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the keywords.
So the keywords. So at the foundational level, everyone cooks Google because they're tracking setup wrong. Number
Okay.
one. They use GA4.
Yeah.
Everyone uses
We
Google.
do use GA4.
Right? If you use that for your tracking, you're done.
Okay.
You will never win.
Okay.
That's number one.
Okay.
Number two is, and this is a classic, everyone just lumps everything together.
Okay.
So like 6x returned. That person was already going to buy from you regardless.
Yes.
Google-
Because
yeah.
you're Googling it, like you're already going to
Correct.
buy. Yes.
But then people don't know how to tap into the cold traffic.
Yeah. Because that's why we usually try to turn off branded or whatever it was.
Exactly. But then when you turn off branded, everything goes to shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So how do you fix it?
All right, you're speaking to my pain points now. Like,
Yeah. I'm hitting you with the ad, man.
And then everyone listening is going, "What the fuck, bro? That's my account."
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a couple ways to do it. Here's the other thing, right? When PMax came out, you're going to love this.
Yeah.
Google's so genius. You know how their whole business is like an auction. So like, how much is this thing worth? It's worth whatever
bidding.
song.
It's like a bidding war. Yeah, it's a massive bidding war. Yeah.
Well, they just opened that up to everyone's brand traffic.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, let's say tomorrow I go rogue and I'm like, Alan, I'm your biggest competitor now, man. You know, I've got an exfoliating glove, and I just run my PMax campaign.
Yeah.
Just set it up. And like, there's not that much targeting you can do in there. There's suggested audiences, keywords, whatever.
Yeah.
I just
like
put
5
it up.
settings. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to go after your customers
Of course.
without me prompting it. And yours is going to go after my customers. So what does that do to your and I's cost of traffic?
It's going to go up.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's what people don't realize. And then they go, we're not going to spend on brand.
Oh.
And then guess what?
They get cooked.
They get toasted.
Yeah.
Like we've had some accounts where 70% of the business's rev of this entire business was someone else's keyword.
Interesting.
So they did all the heavy lifting on Meta.
You have
right?
to. You have to spend on others.
You have to, but you want to spend the least amount possible to protect your brand.
Interesting.
That is all it is. It's just defensive. There's nothing else.
Interesting.
Across both the shopping feed and the search.
Okay.
Right? Minimal. But then you need another set of campaigns. And these are the ones that get you new customers.
Acquisition campaigns.
The ROAS is always going to be shit.
Okay.
Right? Because you're going to be getting a 6 from this and a 2 from this.
Yeah, like a random ass fucking search out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's the 2 things that people screw up. One is that they don't, in ecom, so much of it is the shopping feed. And I don't know, have you like optimized your feed?
Not too sure. I don't think I have.
Right?
Yeah.
But that feed, like I said with Meta, the Jenga blocks, that feed is the same Jenga block, but for Google.
Interesting.
Because if we like search it up right now, all your competitors are showing up in this feed.
Yeah.
And even when I've come off Meta and I'm like Googling your brand, I'm going to see you, I'm going to see your competitor, and I'm going to see everyone else.
Side by side.
Side by side.
Yeah.
How do you, A, win that competition? And then B, how do you also get new customers?
Yeah.
It's all down to that feed. Even when ChatGPT has results, right?
Yeah.
Searching ChatGPT feed results. That's like you got to send it to Bing, and it's the same thing. Right?
Yeah.
It's that feed. That feed is actually quite dumb. All it is the order of your keywords.
Okay.
For the targeting. You can't actually force a feed to go that much in a certain direction without changing the keywords in the title. And the title needs to be mapped back to the keywords you're trying to go after.
Interesting. So is this more SEO or is this
No,
more
this
like...
is both.
Okay.
This is paid ads. It's
Okay.
paid ads shopping feed.
Interesting.
Right? Also trickles into SEO. But like paid ads shopping feed, you have to change the order of those keywords. Because that's like putting the keywords into a search campaign.
Interesting.
So if your first keyword is cheeky glow,
Yeah.
guess where your algorithm, this is where your shopping feed's going?
It's pushing to cheeky glow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not pushing to exfoliating glove, it's pushing to cheeky glow.
Exactly.
Okay,
Whereas if you have exfoliating glove,
Yeah.
or KP,
Yeah.
or fix my KP glove or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
Then it'll go the other way.
Interesting. I see.
So there's 2 ways to go about it. You can either run the one feed and just point it that way.
Yep.
It'll naturally still hit your organic customers, but it'll go that way. Or you actually run 2 side by side.
Interesting.
Or,
And then you try
or
to cover
3.
both. Yeah.
Or 5. Maybe in this case, it's an exfoliating glove.
And that would be based on, how would you determine that? Based on how many monthly searches, like actual
How many
volume?
monthly searches?
Yeah.
How many of those monthly searches convert based on your own ad account data,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah.
So like, some might be too educational. Like what is KP might be too much.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
But KP solutions might be okay,
yes.
right? So it's figuring that out, and that's data you already have in your account.
Yeah.
And then you're testing all the different headline variants.
I see.
And you're plugging in so much information to this feed with a third-party tool. right?
Interesting.
You need a
Okay.
third-party tool, and they're cheap tools.
And that's so stupid, but like, how does Google not give you the access that you need or the tools that you need?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, right?
That's
It's
fucking
really
crazy.
so because they don't want you to.
Of course.
Because they want you to melt more spend on your brand terms.
Of course. And
yeah.
that's literally
and
what
then
it
show
is.
you a 6 return,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you have to do that. And then you have to force it to knock after your brand.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then you have to add all the other things like size, color, material.
Yeah. All the
brand,
variants,
all
all
the
the
variants, all-
descriptions, all of that sort of shit. Yeah.
And then the other thing that people overlook is the image.
Yeah.
What image are you serving up?
Uh-huh.
Right? Because you can do all that, but if you've got a glove on a white background
It's the same as everyone else.
and then Timu's next to you
Yeah.
with a $3.50 glove, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get toasted.
Correct.
And then the worst part is your meta ad spend is paying for Temu's.
Fucking free traffic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then you have to make that image beautiful and branded and sexy so that
Interesting.
people know that there's a difference between the two products.
Oh, wow.
So that's Google. That's just the start of Google.
That's a little bit of an intro to Google Ads, guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
That
Feed
is
optimization.
fucking crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. See, I think there's a lot that people don't realize is how deep marketing can actually go, especially from a paid perspective. And I think from what you've said, like, I've heard most of it, but like, I'd say maybe I've heard 70% of it. Going to as detailed as you have just gone into for Google, for example, is, like you said, just scratching the surface, but as brand owners, we have barely even heard of it, let alone understood it. Now, if I understood this, I would have probably taken action on this with my previous agencies or whatever a long fucking time ago, you know, and I learn more. The more I work with better people, I'm also learning so much more. Like my SEO guy has taught us everything, like how he goes fucking inside all the data, links it all together and does all that sort of shit, right? I'm like, okay, that's very interesting stuff, which our old SEO guys never really did. So there's a lot of different things that you learn as you go, and if you find talented people, I think that's where your business can really take that next step. And I think that's what the constant search is for a lot of people and brand owners, is that they struggle to find people. So I want to quickly touch on what your agency actually does before we wrap up. From an agency perspective at scale, what do you actually do for a client? So say when I come on board as a client, for example, what would you do for me?
So the main thing is figuring out your goals, right? And usually the goals either more profit, more revenue, or both.
Yeah.
But like, how do we actually drive that? So there's the account management component. Obviously, that's standard.
Yep.
But the main difference there is just like we change the ad account. Like we have wildly different structures across all of our accounts because we try the main ones, but then there's always an optimal structure for a given brand.
Yeah.
So we can help you find that, because sometimes a brand's been running this for the whole time and it's actually wrong for them for any given reason, like any of those deeper business reasons I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every brand's different, right? And I think for a lot of generic agencies or a lot of starter agencies or maybe sub 5-year-old agencies, they will literally find a structure that works for one client and copy paste that across. Literally, that's exactly how it works. I know.
Yeah. But each niche is actually different.
Yeah.
Different windows, different everything, right?
Yeah.
So we figure out what that is. But every week, it's our job to drive growth.
Yeah.
What that means is driving more spend on the right ads at the right profit margins.
Yeah.
That is our only job. As soon as we have that media buying component like dialed in, we fix the data as well. So data includes not only sending more pixel data back to the platforms, and this is across all platforms, right? It's making sure that stuff like your Google data feed is on point.
Yeah. And this is literally the question I asked you. Before even starting together, I was like, what do you think about third-party data? And you're like, yeah, should do it. I was like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the most important part of this is, like that Jenga analogy I used before, most of your revenues coming from Meta, you just have to be across that, and you have to be across what's next and what needs to be done next at all points. And then on that, like, which formats should you do? Which things are working? Which are your actual best winning ads right now? And what were they historically? And what's the trend of that? You have to be across that.
Interesting.
And our team gets you across that and then pushes it forward, because that's what stops us from doing the back end, which is scaling more spend. And the way that I like to explain it now is that the first 6 months of working with us, because our like average retention's over a year, and like it's pretty wild, right? The main thing is that the first 6 months are spent getting your internal team up to scratch with the latest formats and the latest ads, right? This is like not just in your business, but every business and across the board. That's why we want to build the software where we track every ad library, because we're sort of doing it manually. Like the best ad libraries, we track
literally pulling it up, everyone watching it.
Yeah, literally, right? Yeah. And then across our clients, we've got our own version of that, which is like we've got a board, what's working for every single client right now.
Yeah. And I think that's good. It's very good.
But it's like gated. It's not like we're showing it to everyone. Like this is just internally, we know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's building that feedback loop into your business. So every week, the ads you make should work.
Yeah.
Right? Or they have an educated reason as to why we're producing them and why we're launching them.
Yeah.
And that system and that feedback loop is like the most important thing to have if you're trying to get to 8 figures. Without that, you just, what are you going to do? Just going to randomly launch ads, hope it works.
Correct. No, I absolutely agree with that. I think for a lot of people, they don't realize that finding the right creatives and getting these ideas. You're already doing it within your own business. Like you're stalking competitors. You're looking at who's viral right now. You're looking at trying to find new ideas. And there was, I don't know if you saw during Black Friday, there was a guy, I forgot his name, who made a post. He's also big in the ad world. And he was like, why do I find Black Friday so cringe? Because all I see are every business is doing the poster ad. Every business is doing the I'm sorry ad. Every business is doing the I'm in the car crying ad.
literally, because they're just trying to pattern interrupt. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But how do you get ahead of that before everyone starts milking?
Yeah, when
angle?
50 brands are doing the same pattern interrupt, then it's not a pattern interrupt anymore. It's
like we started running founder ads. We taught our clients to run founder ads like, I don't even know, like at the very start, like day one of the agency, right? Yeah. And then now it's become this thing that's like, oh, if you're not doing this, it's very normal now, right? Yeah. And it's just like, or like Google data feed, like any of these things that people are saying are new. Even Andromeda. Yeah. Andromeda's old, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's old as.
Yeah.
And people are now going, oh, this is a new thing, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's like none of this is new. It's actually been running this whole time.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And same thing with AI as well, right? People don't realize that the AI technology we have now is it's
old.
It's
dude,
old, bro.
I don't want to know what the military have.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
exactly.
The weapons grade stuff, I have no idea.
It's insane. It's insane. Like you think about how they target, they're obviously not going to use like a chat GPT. Hey guys, there's a missile coming towards us. What are we going to do?
No.
And it's like, and it gets it wrong.
Yeah.
That's chat GPT for you, right?
Yeah, literally.
Okay, cool. Well, that's a lot for people to digest. And I think a lot of people have some, sort of great insight into the advertising world. I'm definitely excited to see what we can potentially achieve together as well. So last question for you today. This is the question that everyone gets asked when they come onto the show. So 0.01, I see life as like a game. Yeah. And I think a lot of people do see it that way as well. Life is literally a giant sandbox that we've just been dropped into, and we figure out how to, win that and build whatever life we want to create in there. So through your journey till today, 26 years old, you've built a successful business, you've gone through it, you've done a lot of random fucking jobs and different things, and you've seen a lot. And you've worked with some really cool clients, big clients, small clients, whatever it is. You've scaled clients, you've obviously seen clients fail, you've seen clients rapidly succeed, you've seen all of that. If you were to ask yourself, if there was a cheat code that you could have put in, 5 years ago when you first started, or 10 years ago, even when you were a teenager, what do you think that cheat code would be if you went back and went to like a 14-year-old Matt and went, hey, bro, if you do this, or if you stick to this, or whatever it was, you would be able to achieve what I achieve at 26 in the next 2 years? What do you think it would be?
This is a great question. I love this question.
Yeah.
Because I have figured this out.
Oh, interesting. Curious now.
Yeah. How long can this answer be?
As long as you want.
All right. So this is actually one of my biggest gripes in life right now, and having gone global and all this kind of stuff, because there's that saying of like, it's not what you don't know, it's what you don't know about what you don't know that kills you. And I think this falls into a lot of business owners where not enough time is spent finding not only the right mentors, but the right vehicles in life to achieve your outcome. And so I think people don't spend enough time going, hey, if I actually wanted to make $1 billion, what are actual ways of doing that? And what does that actually look like? And what are all my options before just diving into an opportunity? Because there is that whole thing of, hey, just like start and you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But there's another one of, if you knew just a little bit more before you got into this game and what it actually looked like,
you
and you actually spoke to the people who like have done each one of those things and wondered if you actually want to be like them. If you did that, you could have probably just leapfrogged so much shit, and gone straight to the highest leverage opportunities. Whereas I think I went literally the opposite way.
I am very much in the same boat, so I agree with you 100% on that. I've tried everything like you. I've tried crypto. I've been a laborer. I've tried doing a contracting business. I've tried doing online coaching. I've tried being an influencer. I've tried this and that. I've been there, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. If I just spoke to all the people, or like the final boss, obviously it's
the
not
final
that easy
boss
of everything, right? You speak to the info guy, you speak to the SaaS guy, because what you realize is you actually don't want to be like most of these guys that seem really shiny and successful online. You're like, I actually wouldn't want your life, right? And then that way you can figure out what you actually do want a lot faster, and then you can just take, once you know that and you have a direction and clarity, it just makes everything, you do have more context.
It's very powerful. I think so. What do you think it is for you then? Like, what was it for you that, what do you think it is media buying, or do you think it is like ads and paid ads for you that you should have kind of explored a lot earlier? Or do you think there is still something else even out there for you?
I think I've been fortunate in that what I went down nicely marries up with where I think I need to go, which is like, I love what I do on a day-to-day basis because the dopamine of like scaling brands.
Yeah.
I think the next level of that is applying the tech component. Like at heart, I was always an engineering guy, always understanding these problems, building things. And I also love people, and like, so I'm sort of getting the best of both worlds. And I also just like love seeing people win as well, So having agency plus putting and pushing into that tech side and linking that up with hopefully, what we're pushing to be the best agency in Australia / into the US as well. If I can link that tech component up, then I'll be exactly where I want to be, which is empowering people to do the best work possible. And, having that leverage of distribution through tech as well.
Yeah, very powerful. So with your tech product, is it going to be, it's not an internal product, it's an actual B2B product, right? It's both. So you're going to use it for your own agency as a tool, but also you want to sell it onto other brands so that they can use it for their own internal teams. Is that right? Okay, cool. Very interesting stuff. Okay, well, where do people find you on socials, and where do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can find us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, the normal places.
Typical.
Or
on an ad.
Scale Digital, or on an ad. Yeah.
Once you watch this episode, he's going to start popping up because he's going to retarget all of you.
Literally. Yeah, pretty much, man. And we're probably going to be a lot louder in the next 12 months, so people will probably see us in Australia.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, it doesn't cost that much to hit literally everyone. So we'll do that. And man.
Very good.
Fun.
Very exciting. Well, thanks for joining us on the show. So guys, make sure you search for Matt, or if you search for Scale Digital, his agency, you'll be able to find them pretty much on all platforms. So thanks for coming and joining us, bro.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. It's been a fun chat. I think a lot of people find some good benefit from it. So thank you.
I hope you have enjoyed that episode of Point 01. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow along on all our socials at Point 01 Podcast to watch all of the shorts again. We release an episode every single week, and we hope you will join us as we continue to explore the minds of those who make up the 0.01%. Until next time, keep hustling. I'm your host, Alan Fu. I'll see you on the next episode.